Tolu Smith here. Make sure y'all subscribe to my boy Downtown Deuce ASAP. Come on, man.
Destination restoration. Destination restoration. Destination restoration. Yeah, Detroit. Destination restoration. It's our time. Can you feel the elevation? We on a mission on vacation. Time to create that separation. Championships and motivation. 313 need no explanation. Miss me with all that conversation. We ready for that confrontation. Counting down to our destination. The final destination. Together all the time together. It's us against the world, it don't get no better. We turned it around, that was the beginning. Coming for the crown, you know we winning. Time to put in the work, I'm about to go berserk. Taking our prisoners, it's my time. Yeah, I know that it hurts. Tearing break out the church, you don't wanna see me in my prime. The mission is to ring, we're caught in everything. In the city, supporting the dream. Vision new I never seen, we deserve to be king. It's all or nothing, no in between. The clock is ticking and I hope you're listening. Don't touch me cause I'm sizzling. Physicality is tipping and mentality is menacing. The dog pound body's crippling. Now the clock is ticking and I hope you're listening. Don't touch me cause I'm sizzling. Physicality is tipping and mentality is menacing. The dog pound body's crippling. To the elevation. We on a mission on vacation. Time to create that separation. Championships and motivation. 313 need no explanation. Miss me with all that conversation. We ready for that confrontation. Counting down to our destination. The final destination.
Detroit basketball. What up, though, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Downtown Deuce Show with the Boss. Hope you guys are having a great Friday night. Boss, how you feeling?
I feel amazing. I'm happy it's Friday. I'm ready for the weekend.
Yes.
Happy 313 day. I'm in 303. That's where I live, but happy 313 to you guys.
Sure.
It's been really fun seeing all the just social media stuff around it, all the local, just everything happenings, everyone at the game tonight. It seemed really cool.
Yeah.
So just to top it off with the dub as well, feels good. Yeah, we're on another little streak here, making up for our 4-game losses. So 4 losses in a row. So I feel good.
So guys, the weekend is upon us. But first of all, we hope you guys are being safe out there. It is super windy here in Detroit, man. There were reported gusts of wind up to 50 to 60 miles per hour today. I was driving today and I could literally feel the wind trying to make me switch lanes. It was crazy. So if you were on the road at all today, you probably felt it too. So you guys be safe out there. Everybody get home safe if you're not already there. And as Boss mentioned, happy 313 day to everybody, man. Today is March 13th. And in Detroit, we celebrate everything about the 313, including our history with the auto industry, our roots in music, which, as you guys know, means a lot to me personally. Especially because my grandfather, Little Willie John, is from Detroit. He was an R&B legend in the 50s and 60s, and he was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 1996. And he's known for his hit song Fever, which was re-recorded by Beyonce, Elvis, Madonna, Peggy Lee, a ton of other artists after him. So 313 Day means a lot to me because of him. My musical gifts originate with him. So if you guys are from Detroit, I'm sure today means a lot to you as well. So happy 313 day to everybody. Hope you guys got a chance to hit some of the festivities downtown. I'm pretty sure Big Sean performed today. I think Skilla did as well. So shout out to them, man. Great day for the city for sure.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, shout out Devin too. He said, "What up though? Back to back."
What up though? Yes, sir.
Right. Happy 313 day, everyone. Devin went to the game yesterday. I think Maddie Fresh went to the game today. So everyone's checking out. I love it.
Everybody getting dubs when they go to the games. That's what I'm talking about.
Right. Exactly.
It's a great thing, man. So chat, we see you guys, man. We see you guys in the chat. Y'all know the drill. If we miss your comment, repost, caps lock, super chat, whatever you got to do to get our attention, go ahead and do that, and we will get to your comment. So if you guys did not catch the game tonight, as Boss mentioned, the Pistons handled their business again. beating the shorthanded Memphis Grizzlies 126-110 to win their third straight game, improving to 48-18 on the regular season with 16 games remaining. As far as the injury report, got a lot to get to here. So we got some updates. Karis LeVert, who missed his last 3 games with that left wrist sprain, he returned tonight. He returned to action. Asar Thompson remains out with the right ankle sprain, and there's still no timetable yet for his return as of yet.
They did upgrade him. They upgraded him to doubtful.
But he was updated to doubtful for the first time. So even though he didn't play, he probably won't play the next game. But that does signal to me that he could be returning soon because he was upgraded to doubtful. And also missing from this game was Tobias Harris. He had hip soreness. And boss, I'm not sure if that's related to the hip injury he had earlier this season, but if so, all the more reason to rest those bones for sure.
Do you remember yesterday when he went up for that dunk? I was like, he's going to be out from arthritis.
You did say that. Yeah. That's hilarious. And lo and behold, here we are.
He's slowing that down. So, always, I actually, and then Jalen Duren was questionable coming in and ended up playing. So good to see him out there. Obviously, he had a monster game, which we'll get to. But when we're just so lucky that when guys are out, you don't necessarily worry.
You don't really feel it too much.
It was just nice to see some other faces, some other rotations out there. I think that's going to be beneficial for us in the long run because there's a lot of teams that, they've had a couple ups and downs, but remained pretty healthy. Or there's teams that have been unhealthy the whole season. So ours is just giving more opportunities for guys at different positions and things like that. So
and the goal is to be as healthy as possible heading into the playoffs. So the Pistons, they are right now in prime position now to go ahead and allow guys to get some rest. They have earned that with their consistent play all year, which gives them the cushion to be able to rest guys comfortably and get those guys healthy. On the Grizzlies side, guys, they were missing pretty much everybody. All of their main guys were out tonight. Ja Morant was out. Zach Edey, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, Santi Aldama, Brandon Clark, Gigi Jackson, Scottie Pippen Jr., and of course, JJJ got traded to Utah. So they were very much so depleted in this game. So this was definitely a game the Pistons should win despite their own injuries. So as far as the starters tonight were Cade, Marcus Sasser, Duncan Robinson, Javonte Green at the 4, I think for the first time this year, and JD at the 5. Go ahead, boss.
Yeah, I was just going to mention too, I think the Grizzlies also had a back-to-back. Like they have guys that I was looking forward to seeing, like Jalen Wells and oh my gosh, Gigi Jackson. I think they each had over 20 points yesterday. But they didn't play today. Blaha called it out. He's so funny. He acts like he doesn't, he might not know, but he acts like he doesn't know the concept of tanking because he's just like, some guys just don't want to win. So it's
you heard what he said. He said, that seems a little fishy to me.
Yeah, and then some teams just don't want to win. So I was like, and you guys, we won't talk about it more, but the game, they still had a lot of scrappy young guys out there who really took advantage of their opportunity. So it was interesting. Like I said earlier, like this game definitely helped me with my NBA niche trivia, because there's some names on here that I've never ever heard of before. So.
Most of their roster who they had available, I wasn't familiar with.
Yeah,
I just wasn't familiar with. No shade. I just didn't know who they were, which was all the more reason for me. Like, go get this game. Don't play around tonight, and they didn't. So we'll talk about that. So guys, the poll is officially live, and for obvious reasons, we changed the poll for tonight. It is not who was going to get the belt. That's pretty clear. If you watched any of this game, even if you box score watched, you saw who the player of this game was, Jalen Duren. So that was too easy. So tonight we're going with a different poll. And for tonight's poll, guys, the question is, the Pistons will win blank games in a row. And the options are 4, 5, 6, or 7+. They've won 3 in a row up to this point. So I'm giving them next game. I'm assuming they're going to win next game against the Raptors. I think they'll win that game. And the results so far, boss, what do you think the results are? You think that they went with 4, 5, 6, or 7?
I'm going to go with, I only know who we play up to 6. I'm going to say that our Pistons fans probably put 7+ because you guys ride with us when we're high, even though you guys crash out on us when we're low. But I'll go with 6 because that would be my realistic. My realistic one is actually 5, but I think 6 is a good pick too.
Okay, so coming in at 57% is 7+.
Yeah,
as you suspected.
Yeah.
And then 5 and 6 came in at, now it's 5 has 21%, 6 has 17%, and 4 has 8%. So
okay.
A little bit, it may change as the show progresses. We'll see. Devon says, told y'all what was that Devon said? Told y'all they need, you just had it up. Told y'all they should go on a 10+ game run. I don't even need them to go on that many. I mean, they could, but I just don't want them to peak a little bit too soon. I wouldn't mind the loss here and there, just show them some things they can still work on.
Humbleness.
Yeah, just keep them humble. A little humility ain't bad. But I do like the way they're trending for sure. So
and for
you
me,
guys go ahead and keep commenting on that poll for sure. Go ahead, boss.
I think though Sunday against the Raptors have maintained pretty healthy, so that should be a good matchup. But I think if we were facing a team like tonight, like again, the Grizzlies had a good first half. They had some good shooters. Guys took advantage of the opportunity, but I'd rather lose to a healthy team. I don't want to lose to the C team of the Grizzlies, which that also kind of leads me to this. We got a super chat from Alan Graham. So you can
what up, Alan?
Deuce Boss, the Pistons seem to have played more than their fair share of undermanned teams this season. Do you think that could be a detriment at playoff time?
I would hope not, because we've had some losses recently. I feel like if we and that's kind of why I don't want to win a bunch of games straight, to where we kind of get big headed despite who we're playing and just kind of get full of ourselves. The loss to the Nets, I think, really woke them up. I think the Heat game wasn't great after that, but I think that the Nets to the loss kind of showed them you can't take games off to conserve energy just because you got a back-to-back tomorrow. You still got to bring it. So I think because that happened recently, Alan, I don't think it's going to really be a big issue, because I think now they're just more focused on how they play and not really who's in front of them. I think if they have that mindset, they'll be okay. So that's what I'm hoping for.
Yeah, and we talked about this a little bit yesterday, actually. I think we were texting about it, but I understand, because I feel like we played the Cavs a couple times without Mitchell. We've played,
the Thunder without everybody.
Yes, so we played some of these, big playoff teams without some of their guys. Yeah. And I think what it was is of course that can be, a con.
Detriment for sure. I get it.
But at the same time, their guys haven't played us either. So it kind of just goes hand in hand. Maybe their guys are confident. They're obviously watching, but once you can't really say how it's going to go until you're on the court with us. So, but then to tie it back into what you were saying, as long as we play our consistent basketball, no matter who we're facing, no matter if the team is good, no matter if we're facing their stars or not their stars, we should be able to play a consistent game of our brand of basketball. And that's what's gotten us and kept us in the first place. Because I definitely don't think we've had a Mickey Mouse schedule with some of these teams not having their people. Some guys are genuinely injured, like Curry and stuff. But I do think, and Mitchell was out for other games other than ours. So it may seem like they're ducking us, but at the same time, I think you can think you want to face everyone now, so you kind of know how you compare. Yeah. But playoffs, like they say too, are also just a little bit different anyway. So I think, like you said, we just need to focus on playing our consistent brand of basketball, and that will get us far, no matter who it's against. So
yeah, I agree. Appreciate you, Alan. Good question.
Yes, and thank you for this. Thank you.
Yeah, Doug says Magic number 11. Still have chickens to hatch. Respect. Yeah, not done yet. Yeah. Job's not finished, man. Got to finish strong. Wrap up that number 1 seed, which they should be able to do. They're in prime position now. It would take a collapse for anything other to happen as of right now, and for everybody else to get hot. So I'm not foreseeing that happen for sure. But yeah, Doug, still work to do, man. Still work to do. But they're continuing to take care of their business, and that's a good sign. So appreciate you as always, Doug. Boss, initial thoughts, man. Let's get into it. What did you see from tonight's game?
Okay, so I think we started out, it wasn't ugly. And so that was the big thing. We did have some defensive lapses. And I don't think, we talked about how they played down to other teams. I don't think we came out with that mindset. I think I just give props to the Grizzlies and how they played for a first half of basketball. They were scrappy, these guys. And so we were able to still, maintain a lead. I think they took the lead once. Their biggest lead was 5. We got it right back. And then we, of course, took off in the second half after some adjustments. That's what I told you. It's I don't think it's ugly. At halftime, I texted you. I don't think it's ugly, but there's definitely adjustments that need to be made, including some of the closeouts and things like that. But they have some sharp shooters that Cam Johnson and Ty Jerome can make crazy threes too. And one of their guys, Small, really impressed me. So they're just, we talked about how teams that picked up film on Danis and stuff. These are guys that we don't have film. They don't have film on either. So just a surprise for the most part, but we definitely look more like ourselves in the second half. The game plan was definitely just feed JD. It was feed JD. I loved all the lobs. It's kind of funny because I feel like this is also why I think the 43 free throws for Bam Adebayo surprised me because we see how much JD gets it. Like if he had Bam's refs, he would have had 45 tonight. Because they were just kind of just like, well, it's not fair. So if they hit you on the arms while you go up, that's just too bad. I'm just, So he started to get them a couple consistent ones in the second half. But man, like that's why I think that's why it shocks me so much still at 43 free throws because JD's getting beat up down there and they're just like, well, and Bam's a big. So, but there was that. I loved our perimeter shooting. We had 8 guys score in the first quarter, which is cool. Sometimes, you don't even get some of your starters out in the first. So to have 8 guys do that. And yeah, like I said, our defense definitely picked up in the second half, just adjusted to what they were playing. And that's just kind of, that's how you get better throughout the game. You just adjust. So, and like Kevin Huerter said at the halftime interview, he said like, yeah, they're missing a lot of guys, but these guys are still NBA players. And that's just the mindset you have to remember, because that's also how people viewed us when our whole bench was in early in the season before we even saw them together much and was able to pull out some wins. So I'm glad we got it done. It was a challenge, but almost like a learning challenge, almost like if it was too easy, it'd be like, oh, well, if you want to see the stars for a challenge, you got to want a challenge for when the stars aren't out there too, just to get our guys better and more in rhythm. So I would say I think everybody did a really good job tonight with the exception of one person, but I loved what I saw. Tons of ball movement, tons of assists. That was awesome. And I heard JB yelling too to move the ball on the sideline. So I think that's something they're trying to get better at because that was an issue in our losing streak. So
yes, it was. Like I said last game, the game before that, my focus right now is just for the Pistons every game, just come out every night, regardless of who's on the other side, and play to your identity. Make it a goal to try to be the best version right now of what you've been all year. Play physical, dominate the paint, get stops, defense to offense, right? And most importantly, do it for as close to 48 minutes as possible. And tonight they came out flat. They were very lethargic. They weren't playing with a lot of bounce. And they basically were just trading hoops with the Grizzlies the entire first quarter. Much of the first half, just trading hoops. They gave up, they scored 37 points in the first quarter, but they gave up 35. And that's just too many points. I know they're playing hard, they're scrappy, but that's too many points to give up to a team that's missing the amount of guys I just named off about 5 minutes ago. Like that's too many points. And so like when you see the score get close as an opponent, it gives the other team, it gives the Grizz confidence. And like we talked about the last game, they started knocking down shots. When you give a shorthanded team confidence, a team that's got nothing to lose, it could be a much harder night than it needs to be. And even though the defense did pick up in the second half, second half, really, I was just hoping it sustained in the third quarter so they wouldn't have to be in a dogfight with this team. And they did. So it wasn't a great start. They got it together in the second half, got back to the basics of what makes them who they are, and just took control of the game. But I still want to see the Pistons look to improve on playing their style more consistently. Because against good teams, you're not going to be able to just turn it on and just out-talent them. And when you get to the playoffs, everybody is a talented team. Everybody's playing hard. Everybody wants to win. So you can't – that's the only thing I'm looking at. I want to see them – this is the last few games. They've won despite not playing 4 quarters just because they're better and they're more talented. I just hope we get to see them more and more play closer to 48 minutes because once you get to the playoffs, man, it's going to be tougher to be able to win games when you're having these lapses and you're having these stretches. So that's the only thing I want to see improve. Yeah,
absolutely. Like you said, I think the way that we came out in the second half, if that had been how we started the game and then we just let it like that, like we should have maintained a pretty solid lead, but they just kept it close the whole game for us. Yeah. So I do agree with that one there. It was
credit to the Grizz. Like they played hard. Yeah. They played hard, but this should have been over by the early third quarter.
We were like leading the league and getting loose balls and stuff. And these past 2 games, we're kind of slacking there. I don't know what it is, but it felt like the Grizzlies were always on top of loose balls. They were able, and we had one guy to shut down really, and that was Ty Jerome, and we couldn't do that. That's why he kept getting shots up. So, but yeah, like you said, credit to them. But of course, you want to see better early on. We talked about, especially you, just the emphasis of starting strong because we have been a comeback team for the last 2 seasons, I'd say, but I think why have to deal with, the comeback? And it would have been nice to see some of these guys in. I think Devin was the one who mentioned in the group chat, like, I don't want to see Cade play more than 28 minutes. And mind you, he played over 30, only 2 minutes more, but like still, he shouldn't have to. He should be giving these guys some major garbage time, which we did eventually get. But the Grizzlies did not give up. They didn't cower. So we had to stay in it. Yeah, we had to stay in it.
Cedric Howard.
Cedric Howard, yeah.
Yeah, so let's take a look at a few numbers that I like to look at as far as just seeing if they played to their identity. So points in the paint, 74-36. Excellent.
Yes.
Excellent. Transition points, 24-5. Excellent. Excellent. Rebounding, 53-32. Excellent. Excellent. Assists, 36-20. Excellent. Excellent. The last 2 games, guys, they've recorded 73 assists in the last 2 games, 36 tonight and 37 last game. So all the things I mentioned was exactly how they wanted to play. And once they played that way, we saw the game get blown open. It was, once again, it's just the lapses in play. When they play at their peak, they're very good. They're like a well-oiled machine on both sides of the ball. It's just the reason this game was close was because of the lapses. It's because they weren't doing those things throughout the entire game. I was watching these numbers throughout the game, and I would see it kind of get close, and then it would take off in our direction. We picked it up. Get close again, and take off in our direction. So it's just like, as long as they play this way, they got to make sure they do it for a full game. Because we saw it tonight, just like last game before that. Once they turned it on, double-digit lead just like that with ease.
Right.
So we just got to continue to do that.
Yeah, and I agree. I think a positive is that we at least got it done. Like, it didn't carry over into the third. Like,
you're right.
Like I said, we made the appropriate adjustments to make sure that we got back and focused and played our game and got these stops in the second half. So, because even we would get up by like 10 in the second quarter, and then less than a minute later they'd cut it back down to 2. Like once we got up, it's like almost like we felt good, or we're like, okay, we're on a roll, and then we just like just unshrugged our shoulders a little bit. And just
that's why in the third quarter
come back up.
That's why in the third quarter you saw them try to come out with that same intensity. Like we brought it second half, but you saw at the very beginning of the third quarter, it was kind of trading baskets still. Our defense picked up, but they were knocking down shots because they were confident from the previous half from just staying close. So once the Pistons took it over and kind of broke their spirit with how we play in the paint, then they kind of just relented. But you did see them in the second half to start try to continue that momentum and jump on us, because you kind of gave them that opportunity in the first half.
And our first basket, though, to be fair, was very aggressive. It was a JD dunk that got overturned on a challenge. Facts. And I think he challenged it because not only was it Hendricks' second foul in less than 20 seconds, but that was kind of a little bit of a momentum killer. Because, I mean, when you do that, and then it's a long break, and then you get it taken away, and then they get the ball, and it's so I think that worked in their benefit, because I'm not saying that things would have been different, that we would have not had these lapses, but basically then they went to go get the first basket of the game because that one was taken away. So, it is mind game, and mental is a big part of the NBA. If you've played any type of sports, you know that mental can affect you. That's why there is rage baiting on the court. That's why there is guys that get texts, it's a lot of mental. So that could have played a little bit of a role in, a start that had us just equal to this team, not necessarily slow, but not us.
Yeah, like the Pistons like to string possessions together, so they like to start it with a bucket, right? So I think it kind of took some momentum away, like you're saying. When we had it. It was an and one too. It was a beautiful start. That kind of got, and then what they do, they like to go and get a stop and then come down and get a score and then watch, rinse, and repeat. So when it got taken away and they came down to score, they kind of like threw off the game plan a little bit. Right. So they kind of had to adjust. You got to adjust. It's not always going to go according to plan. You're not always going to score first. You're not always going to get a stop. So you just got to make the adjustment. But it did seem like early on that it did kind of kill the momentum. Even in the building, the crowd was really into it on that N1. And then when it kind of got taken away, it took a while to get everybody back into the game.
Then it was just trading baskets, like you said. Then it was just it was the quarter trading baskets, which is a great sign for our offense, because we've gotten in troubles in that scenarios when our offense isn't hitting. When our shots aren't falling, that's how we can get behind. So at least our offense was on it to keep us in it. But
especially in the half court. That's true. That's true. So let's see. We got some super chats, boss, and then we'll go to some individuals. Mr. Ma City, what up though? Says it'll be nice to see that 16 game countdown on the sidelines. in the playoffs like in 04. Have him cross him out down to 1 again. Could be a motivator. Yeah, man, get the cans out. Get the cans out. Yeah, I remember those days for sure. Nothing like that, man. When they got the 16, 1 through 16, the scores table. Yeah, that's definitely nostalgic right there, Mr. My City, for sure. So looking forward to see how many numbers we can cross out this year. It'll be interesting. So we'll see. Appreciate you, bro. Damadavi, my dog Dom coming through, says, didn't think we played down. Thought Grizz started high from 3. All I know is our lead grew the second a certain bench guy got subbed out in the second. Yeah. But Herder's shot is coming back, and Cade's assist game has been elite lately. Yeah, I agree. Like, I did feel like we played down a little bit because of what we just talked about after that first possession. I think they came out trying to build a lead and jump on them first and hit first and set the tone. I just feel that first play really just kind of threw a monkey wrench and everything. And then the Grizz kind of got some confidence. But yeah, as far as a certain guy, we'll get to him. I know we all know the elephant in the room is with that. So we'll get to that for sure. But I agree. He says Herder's shot is coming back. Yeah, this was the most comfortable I've seen him look as a Detroit Piston. We'll get to that more. But I definitely agree there. And he says, in Cade's assist game has been elite lately. So real quick, guys, just to give him a quick thought about that. As of right now, guys, Cade is leading the league in assists since the All-Star break. He came into tonight with 127. Jokic is second with 115. So Cade's average on the season as of right now, before tonight, was right on the nose at 10 assists per game, only behind the Joker at 10.4. So Cade has a legit shot at leading the league in assists by the time the season is over, depending on how things go. So to your point, he's becoming an assist machine for sure, boss.
Yeah, and that's like he's been leading Jokic by a good amount, and it was honestly because Jokic. You can thank Jokic's injury for that because it's kind of crazy that Jokic is still so high up after basically 5 weeks out. So it feels nice because those are two of my favorite players up there, and they both do it very well. So I think that he can. I mean, Jokic just had a 30, 20, 10 game, but if Cade's had now a 14 assist game, now a 15 assist game. Yep. He's stacking those looks as well.
Had 13 a few days ago too.
Yep, he was close to his own triple double. Shout out to JD too, who we'll get to. But his last 4 games, his field goal percentage are 83, 90, 85, and 80. That's amazing. And that's also coming off of 2 games, 2 of our losses, where he only shot 37% and 42%. So and that just goes to show where we just were so out of sync in some of these losses that we had. I mean, one of those is the next one. So so just to have that jump back, he's just looked phenomenal. And honestly, like it felt like he had more than 30 points tonight, the way that they were feeding him and what he was getting. So, but I do agree with that. And we'll talk about LeVert too, because I think his minutes are a little bit deceiving on this because it looks like he was JB's favorite guy, but I think he actually got a lot of garbage time.
Late in the game.
And we'll get to it more, but I think he was the first guy subbed out because of his bad plays. So maybe he does see it at least. But I do agree that we started to pick up. I think when we talked about this last game, just the way when Herder's out there for him, it just feels Herder just fits the flow a little bit better. So I do agree that's. I mean, I think he was the only one in other. Well, there are a couple guys, but he was -10. In a game where we won by 20. So
so we'll get to him more, guys, for sure. Don't worry. And y'all licking y'all chops trying to wait for that conversation. So we'll talk about it. Y'all know we're gonna talk about it. All right, boss. Let's get to some box scores, man. Let's take a look at this game a little bit more in depth. And let's start with Cade Cunningham. Tonight, guys, Cade Cunningham finished with 17 points on 6 for 11 shooting, only 11 shots, which I love. 2 of 4 from 3, 3 from the free throw line. 8 boards and 15 assists to 3 turnovers. That's a 5-to-1 ratio, guys. Last night, I think he had 13 to 4. Yeah, crazy right now. 3 steals, also in 30 minutes total. So, boss, I'll let you have at it first. What you see tonight from Deuce?
Yeah, and I want one of those turnovers to not count because it was on the first play that we had it.
Slow start.
He turned it over right away. I was just like, okay, that was just a shake it off kind of turnover. But he obviously was an assist machine. It's based because everything else is just so Cade-like, but of course, just the assists are just continuing to get better and better. To be able to count on him to get basically double-digit assists every game, and now he's getting closer and closer. I think his season high is 18 or career high is 18, and which I think
he doesn't have a 2020 game yet.
But
he does, but you're probably right. I don't think he does have one yet.
It could come. And, but today was only 30 minutes. Like if he played 35,
Exactly.
could have been there.
Exactly.
So,
Facts.
and then, I loved my favorite play of his tonight. Well, he had that crazy hook shot, obviously.
Did y'all see that?
I
Did
looked
y'all see
away
that?
from
I was so mad that it did not count.
Yes, I
So
looked
mad
away
it did not
from
count.
it. I was like, okay, it's over. Like I went to look at something, and then I heard the commotion, and I had to watch the replay, and I was so sad
Yep.
because it was barely like if it went in. So, that was just incredible. I mean, a highlight regardless, because do that in a time, do that not even in the game, make a shot like that. It's crazy.
Imagine that in the playoffs. That'd be crazy, right?
Right. But I also just loved his just hard slam in the fourth, just stuffed it, just took it all to the basket and threw it down. Because I like his dunks because when he drives to the basket, it's almost like he picks up momentum at the end because you don't know if he's going to go in and slam it because he usually just touches it up. So it's always just a momentum booster when he just rocks the rim like that. So obviously an amazing game from Cade, and that he was on the sideline laughing at some of his guys out there. He was laughing at the foul calls. He looked good. So a couple of really good games strung in a row for Cade, who, I think was a little bit off again during the losing streak. So it's just got to feel good for our basically our captain. That's what I picture him to be. So
this was the easiest double-digit assist game for Cade in his career.
Yeah.
It had to be. It had to be. I mean, and that's not taking no credit away from him, recognizing the mismatch, right? But it was a mismatch indeed. All he was doing, guys, if you didn't watch the game, was just dumping the ball down to JD every other time and letting him eat. Like, they had nobody to stop him. And like I was happy because Cade didn't have to do too much. Like, he had some nice numbers, but a lot of those assists were just, all right, JD, go camp out, go set your tent up and just, set up shop. I'm gonna get you the ball. And it wasn't even just Cade. Everybody that was the game plan from the start. We saw the first play of the game. They got it wiped away. They went straight to JD. But that was the mismatch. So I'm glad that they saw it. I'm glad that he, made his passes on time, on target, recognizing that mismatch. The unselfish player he is. He don't care how the points come, as long as we win the game. All right. So that's why he's able to get 14, 15 assists so many nights, because he's just very unselfish. And tonight was just like last game. Same game script. Get everybody else involved. I'm just chilling for real. I'm here to set y'all up. Y'all do your thing. Go build confidence heading to the playoffs because I'm going to need y'all. That's what this felt like. That's what the last few games have felt like when it comes to Cade. And I love it. Not trying to score a ton of points, just being a really good point guard, controlling the game, being a good floor general, setting the table. And that's what he did. That's what he did over and over and over again. It may have seemed boring. It may have seemed redundant, but it worked. Yeah. It worked over and over again. So it's like, if it ain't broke, right? So that was the game plan for sure. So did you guys see that? We saw the shot that Cade made. Did you guys see that lob that Cade made to JD from the post?
Yeah.
That was, and I'm seeing some comments here that was very similar to how I was feeling. Because when I was watching that pass alone, because it wasn't like he was even in rhythm. It was just kind of like, oh, there he is. He'll go get it. And he just tossed it up. So like that kind of thing, that's something that I've seen a lot over the years with Kobe feeding Shaq, just the chemistry they have, making eye contact, even with Kobe and like Paul Gasol, that play where he's like, and they run the play, just the chemistry and the time have played together. And if you want to say Kobe and Shaq, you say Penny and Shaq. But before that, like same kind of thing, just the chemistry of knowing you're big and knowing your point guard. So when you see where you can see the chemistry is definitely there between those two. Like all the years, the off seasons of JD saying he went and spent time with Cade, at his home with the family, hooping together, all that stuff. Like those things are paying dividends now, because they've had time to really get to know each other on and off the court, and the chemistry is there. So the level of comfortability that they have, it can only come with time. It can only come with reps, right? And so they have that now, and that's really good to see. And
it's been really cool. What was cool about this game is we haven't seen so many just like throw it up, because obviously we've seen plenty of Cade to JD lobs, but for him to just throw it up and just rely. I mean, there were far ones, just like if anyone else that was taller out there had a chance on it. And they didn't really have big guys, so Duren obviously had the advantage. But what that does give you too is just Duren didn't let any of those go through his hands. He didn't bring any down to the floor. And that is just going to be beneficial when you do go against bigger guys, is the fact that you can catch it and you can hold on to it in pressure. They're probably not going to, throw it to him if he's got Evan Mobley and Jarrett Allen doubling him. But but at least I have faith that JD will catch it and throw it down because he's, again, he's not sloppy. He's not hesitating. He can do a foot away, have a floater. He can get off the glass. He can dunk it. He's
got
doing
good
all
hands
sorts of things down there. So while like you said, it seems maybe a little boring, a little redundant, a little repetitive, a little bit like playing with your food when you don't have a big to go against on the Grizzlies right now. But all of this is also just going to help against other bigs because it's just helping JD and K mostly JD just feel dominant in that space. So,
show him how dominant he can be. Just force feed him. Exactly. And that's what they did. That's why I'm glad they did that. Heisenberg made a good point. He said Stockton has so many assists. He's the all-time leader in assists by a mile, by the way. As I'm sure you know, Heisenberg making this comment here. He said he has so many assists because he had the mailman. K is going to have so many assists because he has JD. Especially if they spend their entire career together like JD has said he wants to do. I just wonder, boss, where they could rank. It's a long way away, but on the all-time list between assists between two-man games, because I think Malone and Stockton are at the top of the list right now. Yeah. But these guys are very young right now. K 24, JD 22. And if they stay together, it could get spooky as far as those records are concerned. So a long way to go. Other things to take care of first. Bigger fish to fry right now. But I'm just seeing how well it's working already. And it's just making me think about how good that chemistry can be 2-3 years from now if they stay together, if and when they stay together.
Right. And that's like two-thirds of his points tonight were off of Kate assists. So they're definitely the more that they do. I mean, even just registering 5 to 10 a game would be incredible for that. I think they were the second. They were the second to Jokic and Brown last year, Christian Brown,
which is crazy.
And I can see them doing more, or being number one this year in that. Sorry, I'm just like losing my words right now. I'm curious to see where they rank right now in point guard to center duos, or at least not even center, but like feeds. Just like because Jokic was to Brown, and a lot of people I don't think realize that. But Duran and Cade have to be number one, if not number two. But I can't even think of behind who off the top of my mind. So they're so fun to watch, and they're just becoming more and more confident. And again, you can't get away with some of those passes against other matchups, but it sets you up to Cade's also getting, and he always has been good, but with their chemistry too, he's timing it better. Like he knows when JD's about to turn around and can get behind his guy at the right time to catch those too. So because JD, we saw get a 3-second violation on an inbound, which was crazy because it was like, but it was an inbound, like 3 seconds hadn't even come off the clock yet. But, so, but I think, it just will help with timing and being dominant in that space more too.
Heisenberg says it's like having Randy Moss downfield if you're a quarterback. Exactly. Tom Brady and Randy Moss were unguardable, bro.
The new age one is JSN. He never misses. Or maybe Puka Nacua too. He never.
Him too.
Those two.
But Randy's my GOAT wide receiver. He's my favorite of all time. Jerry may be the GOAT, but my favorite is Randy Moss. Anyway, Chris says, who y'all think is better, Duran or Duran. Give me Duran. Yeah, give me JD. You could argue that Zion has more all-around natural, just raw ability as far as being able to put the ball on the floor. But he's only like 6'6". He just plays a lot bigger. But JD's much more dominant. Much more dominant as far as his sheer size and strength to go along with the ability that he has naturally. So if you give me one of those two guys, I'm definitely taking JD because you can put him in a position and consistently you're going to get the same type of results once he locks in. And then Zion, he's more available too. Like Zion's finally playing consistently this year. Yeah, give me JD all day long. 22 years old, JD for sure.
And then Zion, I think it's also just a little bit slighter different play. He can catch lobs, but Zion I think usually creates his own dunks. And I honestly think by the time their respective careers are over, I think JD will develop a higher basketball IQ.
For sure.
Because I think JD has been in this team scheme for a long time, and while Zion has as well, he has definitely been the guy on the teams and expected to be the guy. And while we've seen that from JD this year as a first-time All-Star, it's just been getting better and better as it goes on. And he's, we've seen him. He didn't record any tonight, but we've seen him with some good assists. We've seen him make the right calls. We've seen him with the correct cuts. So I think that overall, especially given Duran's age and Zion's up and down in the NBA, I think JD will come out the better overall basketball player.
Exactly. Kevin says Zion is a greater natural talent. JD's a safer bet at this point, for sure. Much younger too, for sure. All right, guys, just a quick question. Yeah, let's keep it going, boss. If you got any more comments on Kate, you good on Kate?
I'm good.
Let's get it. Let's go to Marcus Sasser, guys. Tonight, Sass, I think in his fifth straight start, 4 or 5. He had 16 points on 6 for 11 overall, 4 of 8 from 3. I'm glad to see he launching that 3 ball. 3 boards, 2 assists, and 1 steal in only 22 minutes, boss. So some good numbers there from Sass. What you see?
Yeah, Sass. I was so excited to see him out there more. Yeah, right. Sassafras is always what I say. But he just had some great offensive, like let's see how many. He had 3 rebounds and 2 of them were offensive. He had some great cuts and stuff, and to grab some of those balls, be a little sneaky in moments that, like the ones that I have written down, like in the second, like those were in moments that were big because we didn't have a 20-point lead at that point. And then in the third, he had an offensive rebound, and then a 3 in the first minute and a half. So he helped us get off to a good start. And then it was just it was his quarter. It was JD's quarter for paint. It was Sass's quarter for corner threes in front of the opponent's bench. You know he's hearing stuff over there.
Oh, don't you love when they turn and when they turn and look to the bench after they make a shot? When they try, I love that.
I mean, 4 of 8 is incredible. Oh my gosh. Every starter that shot 3s tonight shot 50%. That's crazy.
Wow.
Yeah. The only person that didn't was JD, but he doesn't need to be putting up 3s right now. So, maybe in a few years he can get there. But
Midi first.
Yeah, exactly. Davis and Adebayo developed one. So
for sure it's possible. Yeah, for sure.
But Sass, I'm just excited for this. He came off of a game where he wasn't really scoring. And like we said, he wasn't necessarily hurting us out there, but he didn't, have really numbers to show for it. And tonight he definitely does. This is 16 points. So now he has a 19-point game, an 18-point game, and a 16-point game for us this season. I still love seeing him start. Like we said before, I think it didn't work at first because Duncan at the 3 is still a little suspicious. Duncan at the 3 when playing a team whose best player is on the 3 is a little suspicious, but they're definitely, the cohesion is there, even with Javonte Green in this one instead of Tobias. They definitely settled in a little bit. Cade and Sass look really good together. Sass is bringing it up the floor. Did he have any turnovers? Nope, no turnovers. That's awesome. So I love it. He's definitely a guy because I was thinking, we'll get to it more, but when he is inevitably out of the starting lineup, I think he has earned more minutes. Like because people are like, well, who would take LeVert's minutes? Because Jenkins is behind Cade, and then we have Herter too. But like Herter and Sass, I think have earned those minutes over LeVert, and especially with Sass kind of getting into this rhythm now before postseason. Like if he starts the next 2 games with the star still out and he's still looking good, then I think that having him come off the bench while he's warm, like he could be warming up at the exact right time to help us with some of our offense deficiency. So I would love to. I hope that. I'm loving the time that we get to see him as in the starting lineup. I just hope that once he exits the starting lineup, we still find
a way to. Yeah.
For me, it's like if you're going to put him in the starting lineup, but then not play him in other games when starting lineup's healthy, that's just kind of strange,
Yeah, I could see it being it's matchups though. It's rotations. Like there's an open spot in the starting lineup as opposed to it being an open spot on the bench. So it's like when a guy comes back, it's going to be less minutes. So I'm actually kind of worried about that for him, and it has nothing to do with his play because he's played great. I just don't know which direction JB is going to go in. Because we know Dennis is going to be the backup point. And then it's like between Herter, Karras, and Sass, unless we want to put Herter at the backup 3, but that's where you got Ron and Javonte. So Herter, Karras, and Sass for the backup shooting guard minutes. Yeah. And it's kind of like the way Herter's playing right now. I don't know. Right. So it's going to be tough to see how that plays out. But he's playing great, though, despite that.
Tonight we did get to see all 3, but like you said, one was on the bench, or one was the starter, Sass. But that's why I think it narrows down 2 out of 3. And I just think the way he's rolling right now, and even Kevin in the short amount of time, I do hope, and I think everybody can agree with me, but I do hope that they kind of move on for LeVert in terms of postseason. And here's the thing. Simone Fontecchio last season got minutes consistently throughout the regular season and then was benched completely for postseason.
Yep.
So
played all.
And the way that JB does play LeVert, it would, I don't know if it's going to go that way, but I don't think he's also not going to shoot his team in the foot in the postseason. He might just be giving Karras that final little go show what you can
preview for other teams. Yeah, possibly.
Yeah, right.
Look, he's healthy. He good. Yeah.
Go earn your spot. sort of stuff. So we won't know what the postseason will look like until it's here. Because I definitely didn't expect Simone to sit out every game.
Right.
That's why I wanted him to play, but I just didn't expect it because he was getting minutes. So yeah.
I'm seeing some lineups here too. They're like the trash trying to figure it out too, like how we can keep it on the floor. Gumby says Jenkins and Sasser will be okay. I think in stints they can make that work. Chris says, I like this lineup. Just add Stu to the forward. Cade, Sass, Duncan, Stu, Durham will be. Ooh, I like that front court, bro. I like that. Well, I like the last two of the front court. Jenkins, Sasser, Kevin Herter. What about Ron and Javante? Because Ron got to play at the 3, and Javante at the 4 maybe. And I don't know. So they got options again. But I just hope that he doesn't just get relegated to the bench again, where he's just getting DLPs and there's no opportunity for him at all, because he's played great, man. I'm glad he's got the opportunity. He's taking advantage of it.
Specific. And if he continues to stay hot with his 3, there's some potential first round matchups that they shoot 3. So I don't want us to try to match another team's game, but our premier shooting would be important in those games. So that's where, I would pick a Sass and a Jenkins and even a Herter, because he's starting to get a little bit hotter. He feels like he can make 2 and no more right now, but he's at least getting more consistent with it.
Yeah, for sure.
So
it's just nice to have the luxury.
Right. A little bit magic, because Jenkins and Sass is one of my favorite duos, because again, they also grew up together. They have great chemistry, but like you said, it's a little bit low on size. We've been able to make it work when they are out there, but yeah, so I know everyone seems to be pretty much in agreement that they would pick pretty much every shooting guard over Levert. So.
Let's get to the super chat from Dom coming back around. Dom says, I'm not going to replace Asar's elite defense, but if Sass is hitting shots, you have 2 shooters on the floor instead of just Duncan, 100%. When AT comes back, Sass got to still be in the, and that's kind of where I'm at. Like, just still find a way for him, even if you can't get him consistent minutes every single night, just find a way to have him involved. Just
middle of the quarter.
He's a weapon.
Quarters.
He's a weapon.
Middle of the quarters, maybe minutes 6 through 4, and if he's rocking it, it's still low, but that would be ideal to see him in terms of if we need offense versus defense.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, like Dom said though, I agree with him as far as those 2 guys being on the court together. It's a trade-off, defense for offense, when you have Sasser versus Asar, obviously, right? But we do see with Sass or with Asar being out, we are seeing some things offensively. We do see that Duncan and Sass, they really help Cade when they're on the floor together. It really helps give Cade more spacing whenever the double does come, which is happening less, since Sass has been in the starting lineup because they respect him. But since when those doubles do come to Cade, he's got shooters on either side of the floor now.
Well,
so the spacing that they can both creates more spacing for both of them. Just being on the floor together just helps the 2 of them be able to get more space because there's just more threats. And then you give Cade more room to operate. So I like the way offensively, I like the look. It's a cool look. I'm still coming with Asar, obviously, because of who we are and how we want to start games and just how we want to play. But it's just nice to see a nice little change of pace to see we can still get it done in other ways because we got a ton of weapons on this team.
Yeah, and that's like also that just happened tonight, having those guys be able. We started the game with a Woo 3, a Dunk 3, a Woo 3, a Sass 3, and Cade didn't get a basket till late in the first because he was able to just dish it off to other guys. Because when Cade's out there, obviously that's who teams want to stop and slow down. But if he's not getting a shot up, he's not panicked, and especially he won't be panicked if we got guys out there making their shots that he can, whether it's mid range or in the post like JD, or he can kick it out to a Sass or a Dunk or a Woo and rely on their 3. Then we talked about that all season. Like, it just helps the defense stay on their toes. It forces them to have to pick whether to double or who to guard. And it's just nice to be, out. There's a few teams in the league that's like, you can't double because everybody needs to be played one-on-one because everyone can score. Exactly. And we haven't been that team, but we've been that team in these past 2 games. So
yeah, 100%. So Dom, I 100% agree with that take as far as spacing for sure. It's nice to see, because that's been a struggle of ours all year, right? But for us to start having this kind of success without having made a big move, just with the guys we already have on our team, depth-wise, who's just getting more opportunities, that's really all it is. It's just more guys getting an opportunity. And now we're seeing how the shooting overall and the offense overall, especially in the half court, is just much better. And that's something that I forgot who said it now, but they said Sasser is also good in the half court as well.
Yes.
And he's much better than he used to be. He's much better in the half court than he used to be. In the past, we would see him when he was still trying to learn how to play, the point and things like that. He'd run a set. It looked nice. But the more he played, you could see the less comfortable he looked because he was still just trying to get comfortable with how to run a team as a point guard in this offense with movement. And now he's moving more. There's more player movement. He's moving the ball. He's decisive. He's not going one-on-one, step back every time. Like you see, he's trying to play more like how we want to play. And he's looking better because he's still showing his talent throughout that. So I love what I'm seeing from Sass for sure, man. He's looking good.
And I know we're not even on Sass, but I just have to say this so I don't forget. But I feel like last season he came in and he was able to hit shots right away, and that's what we wanted from him. Like that's what we needed. Like we needed a spark to get our shooting going. But now, even just in these past 2 games that he started, you can see that he's becoming more comfortable in the whole scheme of things.
Exactly.
And I think he's been more comfortable, but just hasn't had the minutes. And he's just the type of guy who maybe needs a game or two to get into rhythm. But he we've been talking about LeVert all season of like, well, maybe he just needs to get into rhythm because he wasn't doing back-to-backs. He was hurt. But Sass, he got it right away. And now, like you said, he's playmaking a lot better, just handling everything a lot better. Cuts, again, rebounds. Like he's not just staying at the perimeter to shoot shots because as we're asking of him, we're asking him to be an active participant in the whole offensive scheme. So.
Exactly. And he's bought in. Like you got to give him credit for buying in because that's not his conventional style of play, right? But it shows a level of humility and just as far as being a good team player and wanting to win. So good on him, man, for sure. So we'll see how it plays out, boss, when we get all our guys healthy. We'll see how the rotation looks. But with that, let's move on now, boss, to Duncan Robinson, guys. Tonight, Duncan Robinson had 14 points on 6 for 8 shooting overall, 2 of 4 from 3, 6 boards for Dunk, which is a welcome sight. 4 assists is also a welcome sight for Duncan Robinson in 24 minutes. So no stocks tonight, which is surprising, which is funny to say about Dunk, right? But he's been getting a ton of those lately, but none tonight. What'd you see?
Usually he can record a steal, but the fact that he just made up for it in other defensive ways, like grabbing rebounds. I'm curious. 4 were defensive, 2 were offensive. Okay. I really want to know I know one of his assists was for Stu to tie the game in the second. He threw it to him, and then he went back and hit one of his threes. I'm actually 2 of 4 threes. It felt more like 4 of 8. Like I know he was hitting his shots. He looked clean, but like it felt like he was hitting more perimeter shots. I don't know. Maybe he just
had more.
Yeah, but 6 of 8 is fantastic. He also had one where he shot the 3 and he missed it, but he followed his shot, which you guys know is I just love it. I love the basics of basketball. I was raised on Larry Brown, follow your shot, box out. But he followed his shot, fought for the loose ball, and was able to get up. He has a really nice touch in his floater. Like his threes are I have faith in his threes as much as I have faith in his floaters. Like he just has a really nice touch. He's definitely an offensive weapon. So I've just been love seeing him get into the paint more. It's been something he's been doing all season, but it feels like it's been ramping up a little bit. That he's just if he doesn't feel like it's throwing up a 3 or if he feels like he's guarding on that, he just gets around everybody and contributes in other ways. So awesome game from Duncan. And I'm just curious. He had 3 fouls, no turnovers. Okay. No free throws. So, 14, that's a clean 14 points at 75% shooting. That's awesome.
I agree. Real quick, Kevin says, I like Kool-Aid, but I can't pretend them looking better hasn't coincided with us playing weaker competition. Hopefully our Pistons can use these tune-ups to figure out what works and keep it real. That's what it's about, bro. It feels like this is just about tweaking, just figuring out what works, what may be needed in the playoffs, because you never know what happens in the playoffs. There's no guarantee everybody's going to be healthy in the playoffs. We saw Stu wasn't available last year, J.I. wasn't available last year, and we had to switch things up. So I think we have the luxury of being able to do that now. And when we get to those situations, we may be much more prepared to be able to handle that. But these are definitely gettable games. I'm just happy we're getting them because it could be a situation where we're having letdowns at the worst time of the season and we're in shambles and all those things. So you're right. The schedule is the schedule, but we just came off a very tough stretch of games. So now it's kind of balancing back out, right? So now we've got these easier games. Got to take advantage of them.
A tough stretch of games where we did go like 6-1 and then kind of fell off. But I do agree. Like I agree. Like, you can look at the competition and be like, well, we should have won and we did. So you did your job. But like me and you have talked about when we played down to the competition, and it feels like at least like we haven't these past couple games.
Facts.
We have adjusted, but it is a perfect time for tune-ups. And I know like you look at it and you see the Wizards, and you see They're definitely actively tanking because I saw the Bilal Kubali shot, the accidental tie game shot,
Oh,
and they
my
were
Lord.
like, "No, bro,"
Crazy.
which is so funny. So they're actively tanking, but they have high scoring games. Their offense, like they're going to be a test for our defense too. So even if these teams aren't great, aren't playoff teams, they are teams that we are like that still will give us a test to our defense and make sure that we're playing consistently our game.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I don't have too many notes on Duncan. I thought he played really good in this game again. Second straight game, I thought he's played really strong, had a strong game. Great. We talk about the shooting. It did feel like he made more than 2 threes in this game. Maybe
Yeah.
because they went through so cleanly. I don't know. But yeah, felt like more than that. But yeah, I just like how he's playing. He's playing within the flow of the offense. He looks comfortable. Once again, he looks comfortable. Playing off ball. I love his off ball movement. It really
Yes.
works well for us in the half court. He was able to kind of snake loose a couple times and get kind of behind his guy and get some open
Yeah.
layups at the rim. So just his constant movement and then just knocking down shots too, right? And once again, it seems like since Sasser has been in the starting lineup that when Duncan's coming off screens and pin downs and curls, he's got more space. And I think once again, it's just because you have another threat in Sasser on the other side that you have to account for. That's something that defenses didn't have to worry about. They got to worry about a start defensively, right? But offensively, they're willing to give him, kind of hedge away from him and leave him open, and they want him taking a shot. And that's why they're crowding Duncan more, sending more guys at him. But now you see with Sass, it ain't the same thing. So it's not going to be perfect, at least not right now, as far as having the defense be honest when they guard us and also us be dominant defensively. We're not there right now, right? The roster isn't perfect, but it's just nice to see different wrinkles. Like you guys mentioned, depending on who's playing, you can either go this direction and win, or you can go that direction and win. It's still resulting in us getting dubs. So it's just nice to see Duncan getting some space. And we talked about that. Like, man, Duncan, when he comes off, it ain't no room. And it's not really much for him to do there. He's getting crowded. But with Sass out there, he's got a lot more room, ton more room. So just being out there is a presence.
That's like not even that, because that's a great point too. But also just the fact that Sass is hitting his threes as well. That's why Duncan, he went 2 for 4 because he didn't have to throw up 9. He didn't have a 2 for 9 game because, I think he still would have had better than 2 for 9 tonight. But when you have another guy who's shooting threes and you know that your main job on this team is to make threes, it takes a little bit of pressure off. I think at this level, they're used to pressure, they're used to things like that. But we've seen Duncan try to get hot after having a bad game, and it's just causing empty possessions.
Yeah.
But that's why, he has the option to drive to the basket because he doesn't need to get this team's threes. Like, he can play other roles because he's not the only 3-point shooter out there. And yes, Tobias has come in with clutch threes. Obviously, Cade's threes have looked really good lately, and he's been clutch too. But I think Sass is just, especially just as a guard or a small forward or whatever, with Duncan was small forward today. But as those shooting guys, it just helps when they can basically help each other out by equally contributing at the perimeter.
Yeah, it's just more weapons you got to account for. It's harder to play that way, right? So yeah, for sure. We talked about it all year, like as far as with Asar, best perimeter defender in the league. But we see oftentimes the ball comes back to him in the half court because they're trying to force it back to him because they don't respect his offense right now. It's not the case with Sasser, but also with Asar, he's getting us into transition more. He's getting us defense and offense more. So it's like you got to kind of just live with it either way. But once again, it's nice to see us be able to get dubs either way too. So yeah, I thought Duncan was good, man. So we'll leave it there, boss, on Dunk. Let's go to Javonte Savage. Can you woo Green? I felt early because it was early because he started tonight. All right. Tonight, guys, Javonte Green in his first start, I believe, of the season at the 4, he finished with 6 points, 2 for 6 shooting overall, 2 of 4 from 3 again, 1 board, 2 assists, 2 turnovers, 3 steals, and a block for his customary 4 stocks per game, boss. In 21 minutes. Take off on woo.
I also want to say 0 fouls.
You always because
like
every time that's your first response. That's crazy.
When you're putting up 4 stocks, that just means that you're playing aggressive defense.
Yep.
And even when he hasn't been, like, we know his defense, and so he's out there not making fouls. Every other starter had 2 or more. He had none. He started off hot. Like, his shooting kind of fell off, but again, like, we don't, even though he was a starter, like, shooting isn't what we ask of him. And he's who I thought would replace Asar when he went out. So it's nice to have that presence with Tobias out. It's just another defender. that can shoot. But like the first quarter was basically he hit his first three. I mean, that's what his 2 shots were. They were both threes. It went him 3, dunk 3, him 3 to get us going in the first quarter. And then he just had steals, disruptions, a couple just, trying to knock out of bounds, just didn't make it easy on them. He was soaring. It says he only has 1 rebound, but I swear, I know he's scored in for 1, but he has to have more.
It felt like he had at least 2.
At least 2, because that's why I wrote down rebounds. So maybe 1 was tapped to him or something. It doesn't count. I don't know. But he soared in for 1 in the first. That just was a crucial one when we were just trying to start growing our lead. Yeah, his block was on Ty Jerome from behind, and that was right after a turnover, I believe. So he just seen him bounce back immediately. He's definitely one of those guys that once he does make a mistake, you don't see him make it again. He makes up for it. One play that I really liked from him, and it involved a lot of guys. It was he stole it and he threw it up to Dunk at the perimeter, and then he was still running and he got it back from Dunk in the paint, and he threw it out to Cade, threw it down to Cade, who got the and one score. So he was involved in that just from not only, getting the steal and running up, which Cade also did. Oh my gosh, sorry, my dog is pushing my desk. Cade and Wu tonight were like, they were great on transition. Cade had some follow-ups on transition. Obviously he got that one because he got back. Like, I feel like Wu and Cade were just so good at getting at both ends of the court tonight. They were just running out. So I did love everything I saw from Wu. Again, if you're just like, other than the stocks, if you're a stat line watcher, you're like, oh, that's okay for 21 minutes, but it's his stocks that we ask of from him. So he did. And like Chris always says, Mr. Everything guy, that's what he did in the first. Again, steals, threes, good defense, rebounds. Like he had check it. Check and 2 assists tonight too.
Check the screen.
Mr. I was surprised. I'm sorry, I'm reading my notes. Mr. I was surprised I was starting, but watch me still work, coach. Yeah. I mean, you voted, or you thought, well, you at least voted. I don't know if you thought. I kind of figured they wouldn't put Stu in because they just like Stu at the 5. So
I was hoping he would. Like, and whatever reason, they're just staying away from that. Like, completely served on the silver platter. Like, no, we're doing that. So
it might be a little bit of consistency going into the off season, but like you said, it could be definitely beneficial for some matchups. But that's a whole other conversation. But I thought it would be Ron. I just thought they might reward Ron because he's been playing a lot of minutes and stuff. But Wu would have been my second guess too. So he did great. Obviously very productive. He had the least minutes of the starters, but he was moving out there.
Let's get to some quick comments real quick first. It's Real TV. What up, dog, bro? Shout out to Coach of Detroit on 313 Day. Says we gotta stop playing with our food. I agree, bro. We talked about that when we first kicked it off. 48 minutes, bro. 48 minutes. The last few games we've won despite that. We've looked good when we've played well. Like, it's looked great when we've actually played well, but it just hasn't been consistent. So they gotta pick it up. And we said before, in playoffs, you can't afford to do that. Teams are gonna take advantage of that. So I agree. But yeah, as far as for me, I loved it. I love what I saw. I absolutely loved what I saw. You mentioned the box score. This is why we call him the ultimate box score deceiver. Because if you don't watch the game, you will never realize or appreciate the impact that he has on basketball games. Most people, well, I won't say most, a lot of people when they box score watch don't get past the first 3 things of scoring, rebounding, and assists. They don't look at the steals. They don't look at the blocks, the turnovers, the fouls like you do. So that can get missed because one of his best attributes is what we do best, which is turning teams over, right? Yep. So if you watch the game, you see how many possessions he affects, how many possessions he actually gives us or gives us just extra effort, offensive rebounds, stuff like that. He had a sequence early in this game where, so here's how it went. A 3-ball to open the game for us, like you mentioned. Yep. Next play, he grabs an offensive board. Yeah. That was a score. Next time down, he drives and kicks to Duncan for a 3-ball. Yeah. Next time, he knocks down another 3. That was all in about 90 seconds. 90 seconds. And as a start, it was just nice to see him as a starter do that because he hasn't started with these guys once at all this year. And it looks like he's been starting with them all year. He didn't put up a ton of points, do a ton of things. But like I said, you can put him in any unit. He's a chameleon. You can drop him anywhere. First unit, second unit, third unit. He's going to find a way to get in how he fits in. And while he's doing that, he's going to help everybody else play well too. So like he does not hurt you on the basketball court, man. This is why I was saying I'm not worried about him getting minutes, because a guy who can play with any unit deserves to play. They deserve to play. They're very flexible. So if you have foul trouble, if you need to go bigger, you need to go smaller, he can play the 4 if you need, because he can play bigger. He can play the 2 if you need. He can play small. He can guard guards. He can do a little bit of everything pretty well. And those kind of guys really help you in the playoffs.
I've seen him box out at the 5. Not saying he would play the 5 consistently for minutes, but if he sees a guy's open down there, it's not going to stop him. He'll go up for a block, you know. And I like that you brought that up too, because I was going to say, like, he basically hit every category. He did hit every category in this game. But I
forgot about the missed dunk too. That was funny.
I know. Ron, oh man. But Ron got pushed. But
facts.
Javonte. But he had so he got points, a rebound, and assists in like the first minute and a half.
Yeah, 90 seconds of the game.
Crazy. I mean,
first start with a whole different unit.
And that's so that's what helps, you know, in those areas. And then you see he's only registered for 1 rebound, even though we both think that there was more, 2 assists and 6 points. But then that shows that the rest of his minutes out there, the other 20 minutes was defense.
Exactly.
And which helped us, which we needed in the second half desperately. Like I said, we didn't get a team foul until 3-1-3 left in the third.
What are the odds of that? That's crazy.
Yeah. So, and that's just good defense. That's adjustment. That's understanding where you came out short and fixing it. So.
Yeah, and Devin says the Pistons need more energy sometimes. Yeah, that's what he is. He's a ball of energy. Guys like him and Paul Reed and even Dennis Shinkins, when they come into the game, it's just instant energy. Ron, instant energy. And I've always said I feel like the bench unit has more energy than the starting unit, just because of the athletes that they have and the way they play out the gate. So it's no surprise that Javonte Green is a big part of that. He really helps these guys just pick up the energy, pick up the pace, and really get us back into the game or extend the lead. You don't find too many guys like him, man. Like, he was doing a lot of Lou Dort stuff tonight. A lot of Lou Dort stuff, minus the dirty play.
Minus the tripping, yeah.
As far as knocking down opportunistic shots, guarding the other team's best player, turning teams over, getting out transition. Like, a lot of the things that Lou Dort does, he does for this team. And you see how important Lou Dort is to the Thunder, for sure. So, yeah, man. I love those kind of guys.
I will just say, because you said you're not worried about minutes, I only am because for a little bit there, like I feel like in January, early February, his minutes were more like 8 to 11 a game. And 11 to 12 might be more like his playoff minutes anyways. But I don't want to see, we saw a couple where it was like under 10, and that's not what he deserves. And I think that's also just harms us. Like you said, like it can be, he very rarely had, I think he's had 1 game where like this just wasn't his game. One. Right. So I'll give him 1, you know?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Alan says, are there any updates on Asar? Not yet. All we do know is that he was upgraded to doubtful for the first time. You know, doesn't sound great, but he's just been listed out. Tonight, it was doubtful for the first time, and that's an upgrade. So there's still no timetable, but that tells me he's probably still going to be out for another game or 2 at least. He's probably going to get moved from doubtful to questionable, and then probable, and then, active. So it's going to take time for him to get there, but we'll keep an eye on that, but nothing yet.
I can see him being questionable by Sunday. I think Sunday's our hardest matchup coming up, just because it's the Raptors who did what they are in the East, and they're in playoff contention. They're actually a team that if they drop to the play-in, it's possible we see them first round. I don't think it's going to happen, but it's possible. So, so we have Raptors and Wizards, Warriors. So I can see him, depending on how the first Wizards, I can see him sitting out the next 2, and then depending on how that one goes, him coming in, or them resting him again, and he comes for the Warriors. But I think he'll be back within the next week.
Okay. I hope so.
Same.
For
but
sure.
Also no rush. We're winning, and we're getting.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. With all these guys, no rush. I mean, especially we're picking up dubs still. We got a comfortable lead. There's no reason to rush anybody right now. Just like it's been all year. No reason to rush anybody back from injury. We got a deep team like we do. All right, boss. Let's keep it pushing. Let's go to the player of the game.
Truly.
He kind of broke the poll tonight. Thanks, JD. But tonight, guys, JD finished with 30 points on 12 for 15 shooting overall, man. The only black mark, I don't even want to say black mark, the only criticism I have for him is the free throws. 6 for 10 isn't horrible, but it's not good enough for him. I want to see him at 80%. And I've seen him shoot at 80% over stretches. So I know it's just focus. Maybe he's tired, he's beat up, but I know he can get to that 7 for 10 at least, 8 for 10. So that's the only thing that I have criticism wise. But 13 boards to go along with it. He didn't have any assists, so that's the other thing. No assists and 3 turnovers. So that's the other thing that wasn't great. But he had 1 steal and 2 blocks for 3 stocks. Kind of made up for it a little bit right there, getting possessions back for us. And that was all in 28 minutes. 28 minutes of play. So what did you see tonight from JD in this game, other than the obvious boss?
30 points in just under 28 minutes is.
That's just.
I mean, that means that if we had to play him for, like, if it was against a team and it was a game that for 48 minutes is a good game, they probably could have hit 40. Look, 30-15 games is what I wanted. What's his next step up for me from 2010, since he's been averaging the second half of the year. So he's almost there. I mean, I'll take it. I'll take 30 of 13. That is just.
You better take 30 and 13.
Of course I will. To me, it just felt like more. Like his presence, like it just felt like he got more. Okay. This is like just because he was, but I'm not saying anything negative about him today. Nothing. But I'm just saying, like, just the way that he was dominating. And that's, like, I think why he had no assists was because he was just basically at the rim the whole time.
Yeah, he was.
He was. So
that's true. That's a good point.
Yeah, but I did say that earlier. Like, usually he gets at least 1 or 2. But he got to the rim in the low shot clock from the top. That was my favorite play from him tonight. He was basically at the perimeter, and it was a low shot clock, and he moved the ball, the dribble. It got knocked out of his hand, so he did a Euro step and got the lay.
Step through. Yeah, that was nice. Good footwork.
Yes, and just, using his size and length to his advantage. I saw in the game, so he's averaging 14 points per game in the paint, which is 3rd in the NBA. I wonder who the other 2 are, because my first thought is Jokic, but I don't think it's him.
In the paint, that's a good question. I'm not sure.
Jokic is taking more middies and threes, so we'll have to look it up. But maybe there's an obvious. Who?
Şengün, maybe.
Yeah, but he's been on a downfall.
In the paint, doesn't he?
He's been pretty bad.
He's still scoring though, isn't he? Like, they're in the downfall, but I think he's still getting buckets. No,
not really.
Let us know who it is, guys.
Yeah, curious if any of you guys want to look that up, because I was gonna, and then I just forgot. But 14 points per game in the paint. That's also just as his average is great, but that also seems low for where we see him. Right. I think he can bring that average up for the regular season, at least 14 and a half. Mm-hmm. He was so fun to watch. Everything was just so aggressive. Like I said, I think the free throws is a good point, because while I think that he deserves some more calls on contact, because they were the short guys, like, yeah, he was getting an easy bucket, but his arms are getting slapped in the meantime. That's still a foul.
Exactly.
But if you can't, 60% is fine, but if you're getting to the line and you're not making your free throws, then you can't be begging for foul calls. You can, but
you can, because there's still the bonus that goes into it. There's still getting guys in foul trouble that goes into it, but that doesn't take away from your point. Because if you're asking for the foul calls, you still got to make them count. So that's why I'm like 80%. That's
right. And his free throws and he's been more like 80% this year. And he's getting to the line more. He's basically the guy. I mean, he gets to the line way more consistently than Cade does. He's kind of the guy, I think, on our team who goes to the line the most. So you want him to be at 80%, especially if you're going to attack like he did tonight against other teams and try to get their guys in foul trouble, try to get that stuff. Then you also want to get them in foul trouble, but also pay it off, because you don't want to turn it into like Hackadurin,
for sure.
So like they do
he's had games where he's won us the game at the free throw line.
He's had 100% games, yeah.
Yeah, but like in the clutch when we needed him, like he's gone to the line at times and knocked them down in the clutch. So that's a great sign as far as the mental. It's just the focus. He does get beat up a lot. And Classic said, I hate when JD throws his arms up after every offensive move. I think I get it. He gets fouled, but he's not going to get those calls, especially against better teams. They'll be on the fast break. The thing about it is, like, he's been playing teams that are inferior. He's still not getting calls.
Yeah,
that's the crazy part. To shoot that well from the field, like you should. And the thing is, I've noticed it too, guys. Like I watch him a lot. And Classic, you are right. That does happen a lot. Mm-hmm. But there are a lot of times when he gets fouled and he doesn't do it.
Yeah,
I've seen him get to a breaking point to where once he gets to that breaking point, it's every time now. He's like, where he's just sick of it. But I've seen him at times like first half of the game where he's just getting hacked. You can hear it, and he's just like, he just tries to shake it off. But it's like, I think he gets to a point where after a while, it's kind of like how Shaq was. Like, they didn't know how to officiate Shaq because he was just so much bigger and stronger. Oh, he's strong enough. He doesn't feel that. Yeah, he still feels it. Just because he's big and strong doesn't mean he doesn't have nerves in his body. He doesn't feel it.
Right.
He still feels it. It still hurts. And they're slapping him hard because if they don't, he's gonna score anyway. So it's like these are hard fouls, but a lot of time he doesn't actually do that. It's only from what I've seen. Sometimes he does have a quick flinch with it, but a lot of time he's getting slapped. Then it's like, all right, bro, come on, man. Like, what are we doing after a while? So I have noticed that. I want to give him that much because he could do it a lot more than he actually is doing it now.
And he's definitely, I think, got better at his timing with it. He's not.
Yeah,
he's getting back on D because that was the issue I think we had with it earlier on the season, is that he would complain and then he wouldn't get back on defense enough in time. So I think I think he's just getting, picking his moments a little better. But again, that just goes to my whole point of like, how did Bam Adebayo get 43 field? Like they must have just let anybody tap, like, And again,
that's wild.
Incredible because they also made a lot of them, which we saw tonight is hard. I think the free throw thing for me is like, I just hate when they miss both. Like it's like, when you miss one, like we don't want to see
focus thing
constantly, but when it's both, it's like eek. Because we've seen Cade miss both before, so recently.
I agree. That's fair.
So I think that's just where that might stick out a little bit more too. It's just like, missing both is a little bit more impactful than making one. But I mean, just an incredible game from JD. He should be absolutely. I mean, we better see him all over the media tonight because 30 of 13, and again, 4th game in a row above 80% shooting.
That's insane. Mm-hmm. That's insane, man. Yeah, JD was a man amongst boys. I've said it, boss. The last few games, I was telling you, food, bro, food. Nick Claxton 2 games ago, Dominic Barlow last game.
Yeah.
Olivier Maxence Prosper tonight.
Claxton
he did not prosper at all tonight. JD he was kind of quiet in the first quarter. It felt like early in this game. He got aggressive, like after the first initial play, kind of went away from him a little bit, but he got aggressive in the second quarter. They started force feeding him. The Grizzlies bigs really aren't even really bigs, but as big as they have. But the Pistons just literally started running everything for him at the rim. Whether it was out of the pick and roll, boss, whether it was just telling him to set up shop under the rim, like they were just forcing him the ball. And the Grizzlies, you would see them sending double teams oftentimes, and it didn't even matter. They would either had to foul him or he scored. And many times both happened. So he did exactly what he was supposed to do, which is, and that's what I was hoping I would see is just punish your matchup. Food, bro, barbecue chicken. They can't guard you. Let them know that early and often. And he did that tonight. And the team did that tonight. That was a good concerted effort to see in the Pistons part as a whole. Yeah.
I mean, he was being doubled under the rim and was still getting the lobs. That's why, and again, that's why he was able, Cade is obviously pretty spot on with it, but just the fact that whether he had to step back and catch it and shoot it up, whether he had to come forward, he just held onto the ball. Like you don't want to see it, getting, I think one time Cam Spencer, knocked out of his hands early in the game. Like that's the only way you can beat him on those is if he goes a little bit low. And so
keep
just
it
the
high
fact
like
that
sheet.
he's been keeping it high. I think we saw to get to Isaac Jones. I got worried when I saw him get it on the rim and then he brought it low. I was like, no, it's the last thing he paid it off, but we don't see JD.
Game?
No, Isaac Jones game. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I got you.
Like, you just saw him as a big catch it high and then he went low and I was like, no. But you don't see JD do that or Stu do that even. They keep it high, they get it done. So he was just incredible. And I'm excited. I'm looking real quick because the Raptors played tonight. They did beat the Suns. I'm looking at who their center is. It's Jakob Poeltl.
Okay.
So I'm just curious because, I mean, obviously I want to keep the streak going of him just getting fed and finding his own shots and everything. And so Jakob Poeltl is a much better matchup in bigs than he's had lately. Is he incredible? No, but is he impactful? Yeah. Jakob Poeltl is beloved in this league for a reason. So,
but if I recall, the last time they matched up when the Pistons beat the Raptors, he dominated that matchup. Something he really didn't do last year. So I need to see more of that because Poeltl is nice, but JD's is and should be on showing that he's in another level when they play for sure. So
agreed.
But I agree with you. I agree. It's going to be the better compared to bigs he's played against. This is a better big coming up.
And they also have Scotty Barnes, who is their power forward, who can come in at the 5, a little bigger. We saw him. They played against. Yeah, they played with each other. We saw them in the All-Star game. That
was cool.
I'm sorry, he played with Cade and Duren in the All-Star game, but he played with Cade in high school. But so Barnes will be a presence on the glass with Pirtle too. So
True. That's true. That is true for sure. So we'll see, man. Looking forward to that one. But JD, incredible game, great game plan. It was clear. They did what they're supposed to do. I love it. I love it. All right, boss. Let's move to some bench guys. Go to some reserves tonight. Let's go to Danish Jenkins. Tonight, guys, Danish Jenkins have 4 points on 1 of 4 shots, 0-2 from 3. That 3 ball is not rolling right now for him. 2-2 from the free throw line, 4 boards, 7 assists, 2 turnovers, good ratio there, and 2 steals in 21 minutes. Take off on Tank, boss.
Yeah, a bummer that none of his threes really fell, 0 of 2, but he also only got up 4 shots again. So I'm happy to see 7 assists because that's what we had talked about in kind of that streak of even when we were winning. Like Cade and Danish should be the ones with the most assists because they are respectively like their lineups. Point guards. So that was great to see. Some of his shots were, he didn't get off many of his shots tonight. I didn't see him pull up in the mid-range. He had a couple drives to the basket. He obviously had a 3 that didn't go through, but I don't think his priority was to shoot. He could have had more opportunity to find his own basket, but I mean, we finished as a team with 36 assists. Like we were doing your ball movement, and when you're the play creator, sometimes you get it back and sometimes you don't. So that was his priority tonight, and it showed. He had 4 rebounds. He was just ripping down boards.
Sky looking like Lil Javante in there.
And pushing. Like he ripped it down, and then all of a sudden he's on the other side of the court because that's what you want. When we want to get back on transition, you don't want a guy to just dribble out, hesitate, let the guys behind. Like, no, he's like, I got this and I'm running. I don't care who's behind me. I don't care what up. Yep, exactly. In the 4th, he got fired up and got a technical after a very clean block. It was a clean block.
Yes, I agree.
So, and I don't mind a fired up Jenkins. I think we all would have been a little bit more like, no, Jenkins, if it was like a close game and it mattered. Get one off. But bro. He felt a little bit of frustration, I think, in first of all, not being able to find a shot when he did have the opportunities, but then playing impeccable defense. And JB could have challenged. I kind of wish he did. He didn't feel the need to challenge tonight, I think, especially because most of the sus calls either came really early or like late when we were up. But I'm like, challenge that just for your guy. Just have your guys back. I'm cool with it. So I would have liked to see that there, but I never mind a fired up Jenkins. It's so funny because when I started watching him when he was in the G League and stuff, I thought that he was obviously a very good player. He comes off as driven but humble and stuff. And then just, watching him play now, knowing Coach Hart, seeing this, I'm like, he's passionate out there. He can get in your face. He's DJ Check is
bingo card. Facts.
But like now that we know him, I'm not surprised. But it's something I would have been on my bingo card a year ago when I was like, but he's so good. Because I didn't, when Coach Hart said that he would be the one that got under Tyrese Maxey's skin, I'd be like, what? Jenkins got under Maxey's skin?
And then you hear him talking, it's like, oh, okay.
Yeah. Well, you see him. You can see him running his mouth. You can see his head bobs. You can see So a solid game from Jenkins. I know some people. I think he's done some good games together. Maybe not scoring wise, but in other areas. And just playing like this, it's just all going to come through again. Like at least like I said, he was 1 of 4. It wasn't like he was like 2 of 10 like someone else on this team. But so he I have to be a little bit like people.
Hey, keep it stacked. No,
I mean, people won't. They can't. I have a couple nice things to say, like always, but you guys will. I'm finally in your boat. So
it's all good.
Only took 65 games.
67. For you to finally let go. For you to finally.
But I think Jenkins. This is his passion, his energy out there. He didn't seem frustrated or anything, except with that just good defensive play. But he definitely seems like he's fallen back into his old ways. And
that right there in itself is telling. Is the reason he got the tech. How many guys you see now getting techs because I got fouled for offensive plays?
Yeah.
He's complaining because he made a good defensive play and he didn't get rewarded. That's what I'm talking about. Defense first. And we know he's going to bring the defense. He's always going to bring the defense first. We've never seen him get picked on. We've never seen him get hunted out. We've never seen him get cooked. Losing his matchup like that doesn't happen with him, bro. He's going to stand tall every single time, regardless of who's on the other side. But boss, he's getting back to who he was. He's
Mhm.
getting back to the guy that we wanted to get signed, for the
Yep.
rest of the season. And what do we always say? If your shot's not falling, how are you affecting the game?
Yep.
The 7 assists, the defense, the low turnovers, the leadership, the fire, all those things played a part in this game. Guys, 22 assists and 5 turnovers combined between Cade and Danis. 22 assists and 5 turnovers. That's better than the 4-to-1 ratio between both of those guys. So your 2 point guards are not only wheeling and dealing, but they're taking care of the basketball. That is exactly what you want. That is exactly why I said I want these two guys to play together at times, maybe even less now that you got a Sasser, but the creator. But I want Cade to be out there or Danis to be out there at all times. At least one of them. At least one of them to protect the basketball, to get good possessions, and to make sure the offense is flowing the way it's supposed to. And he's doing what coach wants. He's pushing the ball at every opportunity. He's attacking every opportunity. His speed, you got to utilize that. He gets north and south quick. He accelerates fast. He gets up that court quick. And that's exactly what coach wants, is board and push. That's another guy, boss. We talked about Asar, talk about Ron, Cade, Javante, those guys who can board and push. Dennis Jenkins can board and push too. He's not afraid to mix it up in the paint, sky for rebounds like you just mentioned, and push it. He is the outlet. There is no outlet pass. He can push himself. So that split second, as we always say, when you ain't got to find an outlet, you can just go. That puts the defense on their heels, makes it harder to match up. So he just does a lot of little things as well that helps us get into what we want to get into. So yeah, I love what I saw. The shot wasn't there. His 3-ball hasn't really been there, but it's still an overall good game from him because of how he helped everybody else get involved and how he led by example defensively. 100%.
And the 2 steals, like you said, the defense, the effort on all of their ends, and he doesn't look. He looks like himself, and so that's okay. If your shot's not falling, but you look like yourself, then that just is a good sign to me. If your shot's not falling, you don't look like yourself, then I'm like, okay, if something's off. And I think
you're not going off script, right? Exactly.
Yeah, like a lot of these guys have kind of come out of that. So yeah, loved it from him. That's all I have for him. So Doug asked if we're saving LeVert for last, and I say we go to him next and get it out of the way.
Well, before we go to him, I wanted to go to another comment that Doug made. I want to shout him out. Doug says 120 folks watching on a late Friday, and I didn't repeat that. Yeah, Deuce, you are building a tree. Hey, we are, guys. All of us here, man. We appreciate you guys, and boss has been helping me build this thing for sure. But we appreciate all you guys for rocking with us, man, and showing support on this Friday night 313 day when y'all could be doing anything else on a Friday night, right? But y'all chose to be here with us, so we appreciate you guys for sure, and thanks for that, Doug.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, boss, we can go to Caris LeVert now. Let's go ahead and check him out and see how he did in this game. And guys, we know we're bracing like an overbite for these comments, so go ahead and let us have them, and we're going to talk about it in depth tonight, guys. Caris LeVert in this game finished with 4 points on 2 for 10 shooting, 0 of 5 from 3, 1 board, 2 assists, 3 turnovers, and a steal in 23 minutes, boss. I am going to let you have it this first because I usually do. So let me know your honest thoughts in chat. I already know y'all gonna let us in y'all honest thoughts, so we'll be checking that too. Go ahead, boss. Take off.
Look, guys, I will never hate anybody that's on our team. I can't, no matter how much I want to. Sometimes they're on our team. I'll embrace them. He had 3 really good plays that were completely overshadowed by a lot of bad plays. It wasn't good out there. First of all, I just want to address the minutes because Caris was subbed in. He was not the first sub in after the starting lineup when they started to put people in. Like they put Stu in first, they put Ron in first, and then Caris. But after his turnover, after basically missing some shots, missing a defensive assignment, and then turning the ball over, JB did bench him. And we saw him a little bit in the third, at the end of the third, in the last 3 minutes. And then he played the 4th in garbage time. Okay. Basically, they were so his minutes are a little deceiving, because I know that's kind of the biggest complaint about him is his minutes. I think if this was obviously if this was a close game, if there wasn't garbage time, if we had Chaz Lanier tonight or something, I don't think his minutes would be this high. JB definitely saw the mistakes and he was mad at it when Caris. So when Caris got a technical foul, because he was fouled and then he was fouled again. Yeah. And he got the tech. So in my mind, I was like, okay, get angry, Caris. You're obviously frustrated.
Hopefully it can spark you a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe this will help. But no, instead, he completely bricks a shot. And then in a transition, just tosses it to the Memphis bench. I think he thought that Herter was going in the corner, but if he had looked up at all, which tells me again he's dribbling with his eyes down or something, Herter was on a diagonal to the basket the entire time. Herter wasn't going in that direction. So it wasn't even a miscue. It was just more just like, you're not paying attention, you know? So I'll start with his positives. In the second, he had a really nice spin move and a dish to Ron, who was cutting for a nice rotten basket. And in the fourth, he had a poke away to start the quarter. I don't think they registered that as his steal, because then later in the fourth, he had a steal to dunk. So one of his 10 field goals was a dunk.
Right.
One of his threes looked good. The rest looked terrible. He did pick up his defense when he wasn't in the third, but that's just like baseline for him. In a game like this, where a team is down so many players, this was his, I know he's coming off of injury, but there's just kind of no excuses at this point. Like, this was I think he was trying to get going with how many shots he took, because he hasn't taken that many shots either. Like 2 of 10 is high for him, and the amount that he was, but he was
his first game back.
Yes, it was. So I think he was trying to get a rhythm or something. I think he is understanding that, like, that shooting guard, that off the bench position it's competition now. There's Sass, Levert, and Herter, you know?
You a vet, man. You got to be ready. But you're right. I'm not saying you're wrong. Yeah, I agree.
Well, we talked about after the deadline, he had some decent games. Not amazing, but consistently decent games. And we were hoping that he would continue that up, because JB and him both reiterated to the press, like, he's here for this push. He's here for it. He was detrimental to the team. And I very rarely say that, whether it's we win or lose, I very rarely say this guy really hurt us. Karris's minutes out there, especially early, hurt us. Turnovers. And you could tell JB was mad at him. So I know you guys, call him JB's guy, and we've questioned his minutes. Again, this one was mostly garbage time, but JB, you could see on his face, he was not happy. He subbed Levert out immediately. And so as someone who, I think Levert is a great human, it hurts to say, and it hurts to see him like this, because you can tell he was frustrated. It's also why he got a tech. But then it's like, turn that frustration into good basketball. I was a fan of his in Cleveland. Like, I've seen him play good basketball. So right now it does just seem like it's not a good fit. Also towards the end, it felt like his baskets, his drives were trying to draw contact, which I guess, but Cade can't even do that. Like, we are a team that
good point.
We don't search for contact, because we know we don't get the whistle. So you can't be giving us empty possessions looking for that, because we very, very rarely get the benefit of the doubt. So I think right now it's just showing that, it's not a good fit there. I appreciated his defensive effort late, but that's just about it. And in the past two, I've said his negatives negatives and positives were kind of equal, so it's just an egg game. But no, his negatives completely outweighed his positives tonight.
Yeah. No, I agree. There's a couple comments I'm gonna get to real quick. Let's see what we got here. Chris says in my Johnny Gill voice, "It got me saying, mama. He sure was bad tonight." I had to do it.
That's so nice.
Chris is hilarious, bro. Oh my God, Uncle. Hey, Johnny Gill, that's like my uncle, bro. I just talked to him not too long ago. But that's hilarious, Chris. That's funny. Attila says, "Came for dude, stay for boss." Appreciate that, my homie. Appreciate you for sure, man. Yeah, boss. So real quick, there was a play. We're gonna get to Herter later, but there was a play when they were in together, because I was wondering, are they gonna play together, or are you gonna kind of bounce back off, with Dana switching off? They played together. They came in together, and there was one play. I think it was the first play when they first came in. Yeah, I did too. Classic. The first play when they came in, it was a shot for Karris, and he clanked it. He missed it bad. But guess who was there to clean up the offense? Who cleaned up the glass and get the putback? Kevin Herter.
I remember that.
And for me, it was just a microcosm, boss. Just a small sample of the bigger product, or the bigger point of one guy fits and one doesn't. It's just one play. I know he just got back, but it was just a microcosm, like bad shot, bad possession, but here comes a guy making a heads-up play, an intangible play, cleaning it up that fits better. And then when I saw that play, it was the first play I saw them on the court together. I'm like, yeah, I'm straight. I'm straight. I'm nothing on that. So for me, I'm going to give Karras a pass only because it's his first game back in like a week. Right.
Whoa.
Now look, no, hold on. The
No,
10
it's
shot
okay.
attempts. I know we flipped. Listen, overall, 100%. I'm with y'all. But I always give people grace when they miss time. Now, this is not to say I think he should be playing. I still think Huerter should be getting those minutes. I was more convinced of that tonight. Don't get it twisted. It's just I would have liked to see him not look to be so aggressive offensively because he just got back.
Right,
So,
exactly.
So that in itself is like another reason why I want to see Huerter, because he's trying to do too much. We always talk about Sasser learning how to be a cog in the system as opposed to trying to be bigger than the system at times. It seems like Karras, whether he's trying to or not, over kind of like what's the word I'm looking for? He kind of like takes a bigger picture or overclouds the actual offense. Like it's too much. It's too much involved around what he's doing as opposed to the team moving the basketball and things like that. So what I figured, like what I kind of came to, boss, as far as with him, is that when it comes to Karras and Huerter, Karras has the more flashy game. His game is more flashy. He's doing the behind the back spin. He's handling with the basketball. You get more oohs and ahs when you watch Karras as opposed to when you watch Huerter. But you also get more and groans when you watch Karras as opposed to when you watch Huerter. So I think Herter's game is more. Karras' game is more flashy, but Herter's game is more consistent. His game is just much more consistent. It's more conducive to team basketball, how we want to play. Huerter kind of plays like a robot. Like he's not, is no emotion, is not, he doesn't care. He's just, next play here, boom. Next, okay, gotta, like, it's all just the next play, making the right decision. That's how he plays. He's very systematic. That's why I like him, because it's not flashy. He's not dunking on people. Like he had an and one tonight, by the way. He had some bunnies. Yes. But it's like the style of play, he just seems so much more of a connector as a guy that makes it about the team and doing whatever. Not saying Karras isn't trying to. It just seems like Huerter has a better understanding of how to do that, regardless of where he's playing. So to me, that's the biggest difference. The flash is cool, but the ebbs and flows at this point in the season, it's too late to be trying to integrate new stuff. He's been here a while. At this point, it's like, what's working? What's working best? What's going to work for us in the playoffs? What's going to be consistent for us in the playoffs? And I think Kevin Huerter is clear at this point that the way he plays, the style of play is consistently, even in a smaller sample size with less time with these guys, you're seeing how he's already looked much better. Karras has had 60-something games. I know he's been hurt, but he's been with the 60-plus games. Huerter's been here, what, 10, 15? 15, 20 maybe at the most? And he already looks better? Right, played is like, what, 5 to 10? So it's just like, I'm ready to go with Kevin Huerter because he's a better fit for what we're trying to do right now for sure.
Yeah, it's just funny. And I only had to laugh because I've been giving Karras grace for every game. This is the first time I'm like, no, Karras, like it's hard. It's hard for me to talk negative about any of these guys, but I was like, I got to do it because it's true. But I do agree. Like, yes, when you're coming up, but like you said, for his flashy game, for a guy that's been a vet, his flashy game and drives should work against the third string Grizzlies. Like this should be the game that your moves are getting it done, but instead they're poking it away from you. You're finishing too hard at the rim. Like this is the best lineup for you to have your flashy moves. So, and again, like I said, the Grizzlies, that's not insulting the Grizzlies guys, but like, it's not, we're not playing the Celtics. Like, we're playing, like we're playing a team of young guys and already
missing a ton of guys. Yeah.
I mean, Cade ran over Prosper, who's a center, knocked him to the ground,
Facts.
Like, okay, rookie, so I think he's a rookie, but I'm with you. I do think, again, he was trying to, when we have seen him play okay, not be detrimental, it is when he's not trying to get his own shots. It is when he's not playmaking. It's when he's it is.
That's a good point. Like that's part of it, unfortunately. But go ahead.
Yes. But we sorry, now I lost my train of thought because I looked up.
You were saying when he's not something.
When he's not, when he isn't playmaking, when he's catching the ball off of Cade or someone, he does a little bit better. He makes his shots. He makes the right decisions. But tonight we saw him being responsible for the ball, or even if whether he was with Jenkins or Cade, he was the first one they would give it up to, and he just lacked. Did he have any? So he had 2 assists, and those were both when he dribbles it into the paint.
Yeah.
Which I do think is still when he gives his assist the best is like near the rim. He finds someone close. But when he's when they give it to you at the top of the paint with 20 seconds left on the shot clock and you just hold on to it the whole time and then brick, it's like that's not ball movement. Like the ball movement wasn't there tonight, which it has been in the past. So it wasn't, like you said, you're giving him a little bit of grace because it's his first game back and he was just trying to get hot and he understands that he needs to get back into form because we're getting closer and closer to the playoffs. But I do agree with you that like Kevin Huerter he's played, 5 to 8 games for us, but like substantial minutes, less than 5. And we love it. And the crowd one, it's funny because someone mentioned the crowd was mad at his throwaway turnover because that's when I texted you, like the crowd hates him right now. I mean, he got booed when he got called for a tech and stuff, or they booed the refs, but they booed the shots weren't even good. Like they weren't even like forgivable, like in and outs.
Yeah.
They were
up and under. Somebody just said the up and under attempt he tried to do.
The first one.
Didn't need it.
Even you can tell Kelser was mad at that because he said
I know
that was a really good possession because it was a stolen ball. So that was a really good possession and it didn't need all that fancy ending or fancy stuff at the basket at the end. I was like,
you can tell because Greg is usually pretty positive. He's honest, don't get it twisted, but he packages it away. That's usually, but sometimes you can tell whenever it sounds like Greg is roasting. Yeah. If there's a question about it, he is.
He's a little bit monotone. He's a little bit more monotone, and we'll say something a little bit more bluntly. But he had one tonight too. He's like, Karis LeVert was like on. I think he either had a tip away or something. He prevented a 3-point shot from Cam Spencer. Like again, he did have a couple good defensive stuff, but we could say that about every game, and still people are frustrated with him, But even Baja was like, and by Karis LeVert, who's made a few threes in his time, he like had to catch like in his time. Yep. And I think by his 5th three, they were just like, and a miss. Nope. I think it'd be silly to assume that JB and them don't see it. And again, guys, if you were watching, like he did get pulled after mistakes. They gave him a little bit of leeway because he was right back in. Like he only had a couple minutes on the floor, but once he turned it over the first time, he pulled him. We didn't see him again until the end of the 3rd. And then again, he only played in the 4th because of garbage time when basically he played with guys like Isaac Jones, Paul. Like he played with guys that didn't have minutes, and then everyone else rested. Like Ron had less minutes than him, but we didn't need to see Ron in garbage time. So, I'm really curious about. I think he'll get it. I think we're gonna see him on Sunday, because like you said, coaches. He just got back from an injury. I did see him land though and kind of wince, so he might even be out.
Harris again.
Yeah, he winced at his calf.
That's another thing. That's another thing too. Like we just talked about injuries, how they affected us last year. Like you want a consistent rotation going into the playoffs. You want guys who are consistently playing well, but more importantly, playing. And we know that his availability has not been something that's been there consistently this year. Aside from his on-court play, he just hasn't even really been available consistently. So I don't see how you can try to give him minutes when he not only is very inconsistent and hurting you at times on the court, more times than not, but he's also not available. So that's going to make it harder for him to be consistent on the court because he's not getting consistent reps because he's not available. So it's like, but Kevin Huerter in a short period of time has looked a lot better. He's available. The trajectory, they're kind of going in opposite directions right now with how they're playing, right? So if he's going to continue to be hurt, I don't see how you can play. Like the contract is a contract. That is very much a thing. $14 million a year over the next 2 years. I get that. It's going to be interesting to see what coach does, because if they really want to try to make some noise this year, that could be a very important decision off our bench for sure that JB makes or doesn't make. So, and
I do want to say we compare Huerter for him, but Sass as a starter has also made a much more compelling argument for a backup shooting guard position. So
you know why?
Why?
Because the way Sass was playing before used to be more like Karis LeVert. As far as the ball in his hands, trying to make decisions and getting caught in the air with passes and making him a little bit too much about him. The reason Sasser is starting right now is because he's playing more within the system of the team. That's the biggest difference. So I agree. Go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead. I had to cite that because that's a big point.
Because we just talked about, because we were seeing Huerter even before Sass when Sass just wasn't getting minutes when we had a full healthy starting lineup. And so, but now both of those guys off the bench or in the starting lineup have made a better case. So I do think we'll see him on Sunday. And I just hope that I'm correct in my assumption. I think JB maybe did give him a little bit of leeway this season just because he knows he's seen him play well before. So he's probably just, trusts this guy to get back to his form. But he was very frustrated tonight. So if we do see Karras, it is not pretty. Like if Karras doesn't look good like he did tonight, like if he comes in and bricks a shot and gets a turnover right away, I can see him not like being benched and not playing again. Or
we saw tonight. You told me that. Yeah, earlier you were saying that. Yeah, and we don't see that too often. So maybe coaches more so like, all right, man, we gotta go. We gotta go. You think about a guy like Jaden Ivey. They felt like they couldn't wait for him, and he was dealing with a major injury. Yeah. So if they're going to be consistent, if they're trying to get to where they're trying to get to this year, and they have a plan on how to do that, and they're focused on trying to do something now, at least as far as making noise, and they can't really wait on anybody. If you're going to move off Jaden Ivey, and I understand there's more reasons behind it, but as far as just the on-court play, because they were saying they felt like they couldn't really wait. JB said he felt like right now they couldn't really wait. That's what he said. Right. That's what he said about a month and a half ago. So if that's the case, as far as you're trying to get some consistency because you can't wait on guys because of injuries and because of on-court play, you got to look at Caris LeVert and say the same thing. Have the same conversation at least. So
and I think best case scenario for a lot of people in here with that we don't see LeVert anymore, but I don't think that's going to happen. I think I potentially could be, on to something with us playing Simone Fontecchio decent minutes every game and then not playing him at all in the postseason. That just might be, we'd be like, well, we'll let you finish out the regular season with us and not give hints away or anything. That's also, kind of a little bit of I'm sure, a little bit of a dream of Deuce's as well, is like that we throw everybody off to what they expect by starting a 2 big lineup, like
I'm holding on hope. Because I can't think of nothing, no other reason.
We might have some tricks up our sleeves too. But at this point, even though he is reliable on defense, at this point, there's better options for the flow of our game, not even individually, but just as the team overall, there's better options for the flow of our game.
Yeah. And Krug gets it. Yeah. It's just consistency as far as if you really mean what you say, as far as why you're making certain moves, we should see some level of consistency with who's playing and who's not based on that same criteria for everybody. Right. So that's kind of where I'm at. So we'll see, Doug. We'll see how it plays out, man. But lobster is hilarious. Dom says, I'd rather have Tobias throw all the lobster than LeVert the offense. I'm screaming. That's hilarious. Yeah, guys. So let's keep it pushing, man. I think we all kind of understand where we're at with that. We all watch basketball, right? We all know what it looks like, and we've been watching this team, so we know what we're looking at for sure. So at this point, we will just wait and see what JB decides to do. But that's all we got for now, boss. We'll leave it there on Caris LeVert. And now, boss, let's move on now to the guy we were just talking about in comparison to Caris LeVert, being Kevin Huerter, right? So, guys, tonight Kevin Huerter finished with 11 points on 4 for 8 shooting overall, 2 of 6 from 3, 1 of 1 from the line, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 turnover, and a block. And one more, I'm not going to do that, in 24 minutes. So, boss, what did you see tonight from Kelvin? What is that, Velvet?
Yeah.
Huerter.
So this is a second game in a row where he's had 2 threes. Woo! We just got to break that barrier, Kev, and then you're off. I feel like once he hits 3, 3's a lucky number, and it's game over for
once
everybody.
Once you hit 2, bro, just stop. Just chill.
Yeah.
Truly. He hits those first 2 and then go a little cold.
It's like last night it was he missed 1, then hit 2, then missed the rest. And tonight he made his first 2 and then missed the rest. But
right. No, you're right.
He got checked in the first and had a great, right after checking in, he had a great cut to score. At the basket, and then followed by a huge defensive rebound. Hit his first 3 attempt, hit his second 3 attempt. His third 3 attempt was kind of like close, like better than any of his attempts, in the second, he got a knock away and he dove for it. Kev,
exactly
that body, get it, and because I love to see that. That's something you obviously always expect from a Ron Danis, even a Wu at his vet age. But Huerter, dove for a very improbable save, but he in his mind he saw it. He didn't dive at any legs either. But
right.
And in the fourth, he had his really nice slam and 1. That was exciting. The whole bench got up. One 3 was halfway down and popped out. Yep. Yeah.
Should have had 3. Okay.
There were a
That's
couple.
True.
And, the bench was excited for him. We all, and again, he was 2 for 4 yesterday. on threes, and tonight he was 2 for 6. So he found his shot a little better, but he ended the night with 50%. Also to have a block, just fantastic. The 5 rebounds, that's the 3rd most on the team. Which, by the way, someone said it earlier, way earlier. So sorry that I don't remember who it was, but everybody on the team recorded a rebound tonight. So love that. Love board presence.
Wow.
If Paul Reed's little layup went in, then everyone would have scored as well, but it didn't.
Board man get paid. I like it.
Yeah. So I just loved his hustle out there. And like we've just talked about all game, or basically since the past few games, like he just shows effort everywhere. And even if his 3 isn't falling, which it's starting to fall now, if it's not falling, he finds himself other shots. Again, he crashes the boards. He doesn't get in the way of anything. He did it. So it says, 1 turnover. I can't recall it. So it wasn't egregious. In that sense, he had 12 points for us last night, 11 points for us tonight. It's what you want to see. And I think that especially, if 2 more of those shots go in, he's in the high teens. And so I am loving what I'm seeing, and just the way that he's moving. He just, like I said, I always thought that he was bigger than Duncan, but he's smaller, but he moves like a big. He pushes through, he drives to the basket through contact. He will body a guy on defense. I mentioned last night, he also plays very up close, closeout defense without fouling.
Exactly. He doesn't foul.
Truly no complaints about Kevin Huerter today.
Let's get to some comments. I missed one from Dom. My bad, bro. I'm going to incorporate it into Kevin Huerter since they're kind of tied together. So Dom says, I've admitted before I'm a LeVert hater. Yes, you have, bro. But obviously, if he is playing, I want him to succeed out there. LeVert just tries to do too much. Sometimes simple is better. Do not run the point. Yeah, he can't control what coach asks him to do in the court as far as point or the 2. But regardless of that, he can still play better with just his decision-making as the 1 or the 2. And I agree with that for sure. Of course, we want to see everybody succeed. But I want to see this team succeed more than any individual player. I want all these guys individually to prosper. But we're Pistons fans, right? They wear that uniform on the front first, right? So we, like Boss always says, if you play for this team, we're going to support you. We're going to rock for you. We're going to ride for you. But not at the expense of you hurting the team overall. That's when it gets hard. And that's when we're like, all right, we got to make some changes. So I agree with you, Don, for sure. Like, it's like I want to see him do well, but we've had opportunities. We've said all year we want to see him do well. We've always been trying to find, I won't say grasping at straws, but trying to find positives. And it hasn't always been easy to find positives to the point where I'm like, hey, man, am I being a little too nice? Like, maybe I should just, you know what I mean? Like, because I feel like if I'm just honest, it's being mean. But it's like, no, it's what you saw, bro. It is what it is. So it's just like, at this point, I'm with you. It's like, I want to see these guys do well, but I want to see our team do well as a result of these guys doing well. And it's just certain guys, him being one of them, those 2 don't really correlate right now. Some quick comments I want to get to as well. Ranger says, Kevin Huerter reminds me of a less polished Alex Caruso. I see some similarities there. As far as the shooting, as far as the defense, as far as the size. I see some similarities there. Not the same player, but they do a lot of utility things. They do a lot of little things defensively, diving for loose balls, making the extra pass. I see some similarities there. I'm not saying it's a perfect comparison, but as far as role and impact, I can see that. Go ahead.
I just have to say, like, Alex Caruso is just one of the best defenders in the NBA.
Oh, for sure.
Huerter.
Yeah.
But Huerter's better. But I think what I see in them both is that they're hustle guys, and they'll get the job done on both ends. So they'll continue to help the team on both ends, and they'll do unexpected. Like Alex Caruso can shoot the 3, and he has. But he's great on so I can see the similarities more so in their mindset and how they approach the game.
Right.
Sure.
Exactly. And I think that's all he was getting. I'm not saying one is better or whatever, but I do see some similarities. Let's get some more comments real quick. Super Morty Man says he recognizes how special of a team it is that I agree. I feel like he's really trying to find his way because he sees that we could do something special here as far as maybe the deepest playoff run he's had in his career. Because I've said it before, like he hasn't had this kind of point guard on his team. He hasn't had this kind of depth on his team before. Sacramento with Chicago, this is a different level team he's on right now. And I think he understands that. Go ahead, and I'll get the rest of these comments.
Can I comment? Yeah. Okay. So, on Sacramento, he had Fox, right?
Yes.
And then he did have Giddey. So he had guys that shared the ball.
Yeah, but
they're not gonna put them in the same level as Cade, but I'm not saying he didn't come from his point guards were still reliable, good basketball players. But I think for me, it's more so we've heard it from media members, we've heard it from everybody that he is just a fantastic locker room presence. And I think that's honestly something that, and even Trajan admitted that's something that factored into bringing him here, because when you bring in someone like that, it doesn't hurt an amazing chemistry already. If anything, our guys just welcomed him in, and he's probably happily, gladly, he's probably already matched so well with our team and their personality wise too. So I do think, of course, like getting traded to the number one team in the East is pretty special, and you want to make the mark. But I think Kevin Huerter is one of those guys that understands there's more just beyond what you do on the court, and that's something that's important to our team and our fans as well. So if you're a great person, just like we've talked about Wu, we've talked about like Beasley, obviously was great on the court, but also huge locker room presence. There's just some guys that they're there for that as well. So I think, like you said, he hasn't had this opportunity not only just for the play, but I think the locker room experience, because he's been on a couple rebuild teams recently, and now he's come to an established team who wants to see him thrive and succeed, and gets off the bench for a dunk for him, and gets off the bench when he's shooting threes, like supports him. So.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I definitely agree. You mentioned the off court piece and just the character piece and all stuff. Like, he seems like a humble dude. When Natalie was interviewing him for the first time since he's been here, she said that it's the first time he got a chance to interview at halftime. He was just like, yeah, it's the first time I deserve to be interviewed. Like, so he was like, he has high standards for himself too. Like, he wants to be better. He knows he can be better. So it was nice to hear him say that off the back. Like, he was just like, yeah, I ain't deserve it, bro. Like, I got to play better, and then we can start talking more often. But I thought that was a good thing to hear.
There's no ego, and that's important, because there are guys out there that do have ego and they can be great basketball players. But when you come into a team where literally no one has an ego, like we've talked about, Cade could have a 50-point night in his career by now, but he wants everyone else to, like, it's not his focus. And he's not, nobody here is watching their stats. They're playing their game. So it's just, again, another kind of great in culture fit, which I think was, when I first, everyone knows I had my hesitations about Huerter just based on other things, and losing Jaden Ivey was tough. But when I think all of us agreed, at least we know that he would be a good locker room presence. And even Trajan said, like, they brought him in for the type of guy he is. And Trajan has reiterated that he wants high character people on this team. And so he's not going to sell out. He's continued to prove that, Schroeder, Huerter, he's continued to bring in guys that are of high character.
Right. He came to Detroit the same day he got drafted as well. Good point from Super Morty, man. He was excited to be here. A few more comments and we'll keep going, guys. Chris says, on a team with a lot of good players, he's impactful. So I like, he's finding his way amongst a good team in a short amount of time. Heisenberg says, Cousin Kev didn't look like he was rushing those threes tonight. One of them was halfway down, then popped out. Sharita says, I love how Kevin plays. He fits perfectly with the offense. It's only a matter of time before he takes off. Yep. Only high IQ players have the ability to fit in like that quickly. For sure. Yes. And then Flake Dog says, what up, Flake Dog says, Huerter with that dunk and the foul got the bench up. Yeah, they like him. They rock with him, which is another great sign that, once again, the vibes are high when it comes to him in the locker room. So that's a great point as well. Because we've seen sometimes when guys are going off, scoring a ton of points, and the bench is just like,
what's like,
you know what I'm saying? So they're rooting for him to be successful. That's pretty cool. So real quick, boss.
Can I just say real quick too?
Go ahead.
I just comment about this just real fast. It's just to add to that. Just also when you're it has to be good to be on a team that's winning consistently, that you're contributing to with your points, because that's going to help your confidence as well. You're not going to consider your threes. Like if you miss a three and we're up, and you're down, you're a little bit more hard on yourself. Like, I needed to make that to get us back in it. But he has, like Chris said, so many other good players on the team. Not that he can fall back on, but now he's contributing to a winning atmosphere and a winning team, and it helps him drain those a little bit better.
Agreed. Yeah. So final thoughts on Kevin for me. I was saying, boss, I thought he's gonna look like Sacramento Kevin Huerter. I fell in love with that player. I ain't gonna lie, guys. Back in 2022, I think was when the Golden State Warriors won. 2022. That was watching him in that playoff run when they took I always say they took Golden State 7 games in that first round, and he was playing as well as I've seen him play. That was a player I was hoping we were going to get. And I thought coming to a team like this that is a very, very much team oriented and everyone knows their roles and everyone finds their role, I thought he was going to be good for this team. But for me, it was just the fact that he's getting more and more. Yes, Dom. Yeah, if he gets exactly. But Dom, I think that's going to come with nothing but time, reps, and confidence as a result.
We're
And
seeing it.
yes, he's getting more and more confident by the minute. Like you can see, like for the first time, I saw him rise, catch the ball and rise for a three when it wasn't off a swing. Because most of his shots that he's taking for three are off swings. It's a swing pass, swing, swing, swing in rhythm. Nobody's gonna say this is a bad shot if I miss it, kind of thing, right? Yeah. Like y'all, it's a good shot, right? Okay, bet. But like, don't want to step on toes, right? I'm trying to just fit in. But now tonight he caught it. It was a outlet pass from Cade as he was getting it to him. It was nobody under the rim. It was one defender in front of Herter. He caught it and just rose. He didn't think twice. He had airspace and he just let it go. And I was like Russell Westbrook, like, really? Okay. And it dropped. It dropped. His three, like it's when he's on, his shots don't touch anything. It's just string music. It's just string music. So I was just happy with the confidence to take that shot because we don't have a lot of snipers. We're gonna need him to take shots. It still take good shots, but it was just eye-opening me that he didn't even hesitate. We've seen last game. He would catch it off a swing and still hesitate and have to put it back on the floor to get back into a rhythm. But tonight, it wasn't really a rhythm shot. He just had airspace and had confidence in the shot and just shot it. I love that. That's huge for me. So for me, like, if he sees daylight, take it, bro. And he showed the bunnies off too, on that and1 dunk. Like a lot of people, he's got some deceptive athleticism too. So we're seeing different parts to his game. I knew he had that from Sacramento, but I'm glad that it's starting to slowly come back. But he's starting to look like that guy, resemble that guy that I saw in Sacramento. If we get that guy, guys, I'm telling you, man, it's gonna be a fun postseason.
What Dom says here too, JB did yell at him once for passing on an open shot. When you are with a coach who is letting his second year three, who is just now starting to work on 3-point shooting, and you're watching him encourage Ron to take the shots, because we saw in a game Ron was missing all of them and JB's just patting him on the back like, you're good. When you see that and you already know that you're a 3-point shooter, that just tells you, and I'm sure JB has reiterated it, it's like, we have confidence in you. Like if Cade Cunningham is passing you the ball, it's because Cade Cunningham wants you to shoot it.
Exactly.
So if you like, that has to just do worlds of help for him, just to know that he does have the green light, because if he didn't, I think he maybe would have slowed down on his shooting or just stuck to drives. But no, we're seeing him increase his 3-point shots and also increase his 3-point makes, because they're telling him like, yeah, well, like you're watching the younger guys under you be developed into that. So if they have the green light, of course you do as well. JB wants all these guys to thrive in this environment and thrive and grow. And yes, we know that Herter can just be a sniper on three and can't just drain them. It's just been a few years, but when you're coming off of the Kings are just a team that has gotten rid of good players. Like they're
not good management,
and their fans is a little bit toxic. Then you go to the Bulls, who have had no identity for a few years and they don't even know what they're doing. And you got 6 other guards on the roster to go against. And also the Bulls crowd is harsh because they haven't had a winning season in a while. But so when you miss, you feel worse about it. Now you're in this place where you're like, no, if you miss, you miss, but we just want you to play your game. Play your game. That's why you're so.
Exactly. Yeah, we have stability here. That's the difference. So yeah, Kevin says that's why we need the real Kevin Herter to please stand up. Please stand up. Him playing in stretches with Duncan. We saw a little Duncan in Red Velvet tonight too. That was cool. I don't want to see a ton of that because I worry about the defense a little bit. But in stretches, when you're trying to get more spacing, more ball movement, we saw Sass in dunk. So I wouldn't be mad at seeing Herter in dunk at times when it makes sense, when we need more spacing, for sure.
Do you remember that was one of my things that I was shocked about in one of Herter's first major minute games a few games ago, was that him and Dunk actually looked good together. And I think it's because they do show effort on defense. So you're not getting a cone at least. And so, they still have to battle against you on defense. So because that's what shocked. I've seen them on the court a couple times. But I was surprised by it because I was like, these are two guys that we can't play together because it's too much offense. But in reality, it works well. So.
Yeah. If we get average defense from both of those guys and they're shooting above average from three and they're spacing the floor and it's helping everybody else like Cade and Danis and Wu and Ron and all these guys. Let's try it. Which is why it's great to have 16 games left remaining on the schedule.
Yeah.
Because now we
exactly.
can go ahead and see exactly what it looks like while we're still in first place and still getting dubs.
Yes.
Great time to be a Pistons fan, guys. All right, man. We'll leave it there, guys, on Kevin Herter. We got 3 more guys, boss. Let's go ahead and knock these out. Let's get to Lil Ron Holland in this game, guys. Finished with 12 points on 5 for 7 shooting overall. No threes tonight. 2 for 2 from the free throw line, 4 boards, 1 assist, 2 turnovers in 17 minutes. Some pretty efficient numbers from a lot of these guys tonight, boss. What you see from Lil Ron tonight?
Yeah, truly efficient.
Yeah.
Crazy that he didn't get a 3 up, but he did catch it on the perimeter and just decided to drive it and get his usual shots. And I think that just helps when you do that, because even though we wanted to get better at 3, but if he just wants to take his normal shots and get into a rhythm, I'm all for that too. Because he had some really good drives tonight. I didn't have any notes for him because it was a good Ron game. Like
it was
nothing spectacular to point out because it was his consistent effort. I think the craziest thing is that he didn't register a steal, but that's really it. It hit both his free throws, at 3 fouls, 2 turnovers, but it got pretty messy for everybody at certain times with these young guys. But
it did.
Soared in for rebounds. I loved some of his drives. That one dunk, he missed the dunk, but he got pushed from behind. He
did. Come on, man.
And those always the pushes from behind when guys are flying in for a dunk, no matter the team, tick me off because if there's any type of he was off, changing momentum, it was harder than you thought, that could result in some serious injury.
Yeah, you can get hurt caught in the air like that. I hate seeing stuff like that. Grayson Allen type stuff.
Drives me a little bit crazy. Like if you're not in front of him and he's going up for the dunk, there's really no need to put your hands on these guys. But
Bush League.
But then he did get a steal and he went up for a soft little dunk to make sure he didn't blow it. But yeah, solid Ron game. Only 17 minutes, kind of the least amount of everybody that it was in the rotation basically. Because by then it was like garbage time and stuff. But him playing Sunday will be fun because the Raptors I think they've fallen off, but they have been one of the better defensive teams in the league. So it'll be a fun matchup that I would like to see him get closer to 20 minutes for. So he's looking good.
Yeah, he looks like Ron. I do think he has one of the worst whistles in the league. Like the way he gets destroyed on moving screens when they don't call it, the way he tries to go up for dunks sometimes and the guy is literally pushing him, preventing him from dunking the ball, and they don't call it, and he has to lay it up because his momentum got pushed back. Like his whistle is crazy. I don't understand it, but I will say this: he's got to adjust to it. He's got to adjust to it. He's got to earn it. And the biggest thing for me, I think, right now for Ron going into this offseason, guys, you guys let me know what you think. I think what Ron, obviously the shooting, but one thing I think Ron needs to do is get stronger. He's got to get a little bit bigger, and he's got to get a little bit stronger. Ron is a tall guy. He's a wiry. He's strong for his size, but he doesn't have really a lot of weight to him, right? So, and I'm watching him, like the way he gets bumped sometimes. It's a dramatic reaction because he's just not a big guy. Because he's a slender guy. When he comes off screens, he's getting hit. It's a moving screen. He's not flopping. He's just not a big guy. So it looks dramatic. I think he needs to get a little bit stronger. And he's not behind schedule. This is his second year. I just think that's his next progression, is just to continue to get stronger. Like he's got great foot speed, great lateral speed. He's got long arms, super athletic. He just got to get a little bit stronger so he can navigate those screens better, so he's not getting erased. That's my only thing for him. It's not, like I said, he's not behind. It's just something I think will make him a lot better as far as durability and being able to just be a better defender, because you can navigate it, you can get around, you're not getting eliminated from the play, you can draw more offensive fouls, just things like that I think will come in time, but he's got to get stronger over the summer, and I think he will. I think that's going to be on his list for sure.
Yeah, I think it will. And he takes everything very seriously with these coaches when they recommend, so absolutely. And I just wanted to go to the point of like how he needs to learn to play through it, or not, getting a whistle, he needs to learn to adjust. I think it's tough for him because he also he gets played physically on offense and doesn't get the whistle, and then he plays physically on defense and they call fouls. Like
that's
his
whistle
is bad both ways. His whistle is bad both ways because he's also still young and new in the league. So if it's ever against an established vet or a star, he's not going to get the benefit of the doubt on defense. So I think that's what adds to his frustration, as it should. I would be frustrated as well if I was playing physical on defense and they were calling fouls, and then I was getting beat up on offense, and they were just like, well, it's just physical play, So I do agree with you that it's kind of the worst whistle both ways. But I definitely do see that. I think that he will get stronger. And because these movies, he does get thrown a lot, and it always worries me. I'm just like, one of these days, I'm so scared that it is going to be something a little bit more severe because he does get beat up. We've seen it. He's been on the floor a lot. And
it helps that he's young, but still, after a while, man.
19-year-old. I mean, I used to be like, oh, I do yoga, I'm good, like my knees are fine, but my knees are. I was like, I could not imagine jumping up that fast. I don't think I could. I don't think if they offered me $1 million to jump up that fast, I could do it. Because it is, youth. So he has plenty of time. And I think with guys like, again, B-Ball Paul took this offseason to get stronger. As a third string center, as a guy who just wanted to be ready. And so he's surrounded by a ton of guys. Cade included takes very good care of his body. Duren got stronger. Maybe Ron will join Duren and Cade on their Colorado adventures next year. Right. So I do see that coming and happening, because that would be, if he can maintain his agility to the basket and then also be able to just body over people.
Exactly.
He's averaging 17 points a game.
Because he's already a great finisher already in traffic.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Right. So his shot making is already ridiculous. So it's just going to make him a much better player, more durable player, and more effective player on both sides of the ball. So I agree with you. Heisenberg says next season he will be Ronnie, instead of Ronnie Hustle, he'll be Ronnie Muscle. I like that. I like that. I might have to borrow that if you don't mind, Heisenberg. Get a patent on that, bro. Super Morty Man says it helps that he's young, but echoing Deuce, he still got. Yeah, I agree. Until then, because it can't happen in the next. It's got to be something he works on in the off season, right? But, yeah. But until then, just play through it. Continue to play through it. Just continue to be who you are and live with the results, because that's been good enough for us for sure up to this point. So I agree with you guys there for sure. That's all I got, I think, boss, on Ron, man. Let's keep it pushing, guys. Let's go now to our last dive.
I know it's late there. I know it's late there. It's been a 2-hour stream because we've had a lot of fun things to talk about. Thank you guys for being here. All I have to say.
That's what I'm saying, man. Yeah, y'all still 100 deep, man. At 12 o'clock on Saturday morning here. We appreciate y'all, man, for sure. Kevin says Ron has an all-star ceiling. Just gotta put in the work. I agree. All right, guys, let's go to Stu. Stu, guys, tonight Isaiah Stewart, Dog Pound Senior, finished with 10 points on 5 for 10 shooting, 0 of 2 from 3. 4 boards, 1 assist, 1 turnover, and a block in 20 minutes, boss. Take off on Stu.
Yeah, 5 of 10. Again, 50%. Love it.
Yep.
Just they did when he was out there, whether it was with Jenkins or Cade, they kind of tried to run the paint through him as well. Didn't hit his threes tonight. Then that would have been a crazy scoring night, crazy efficient.
Facts. So some good looks. Yeah, just didn't fall.
Yeah, 4 rebounds. I mean, he was bodying people out there. Gosh, it's funny how he was just getting like him and Taj Gibson, man. Taj Gibson is just. I appreciate the mindset
since like 1980. It seems like.
Yeah, I appreciate. When I think of him, I just think of the Bulls. So even when he was on our team, I was like, that's a Chicago
D-Wade
Bull.
Dunk. Dunk on D-Wade.
He's infiltrated us, but I love his mindset too, because he wasn't just gonna let Stu bother him. But that was a fun matchup, I think, for both of them. There's probably they were teammates, so probably major respect in that aspect. But
for sure,
solid Stu game. Would have loved to see a couple. I mean, but take away the threes, and he's 5 of 8, so nothing to complain about. Didn't get any free throws. That's what's again kind of crazy, because he does get up there too. He should get some and ones for sure, but he's just looking definitely, like I said, he's finally looked like 100% last night after coming off looking more like 80% the game before. I think tonight he still looked himself. And so that's all we want is that physicalness, and he did get a signature block. So no complaints.
That's Stu game, right?
Yep,
Stu behavior. Blackheart says I'm watching both of y'all on 2 devices. Hey, okay. I got 2 phones. All right. Let's see. For me, guys, I don't have much on Stu either, boss. Like it's deja vu, like ho hum. Same thing. We always say these guys play the same way regardless of the stat sheet. Same approach, same game, same mentality, same Stu. I will say this though. 2 quick things. I love how he and JD were both really just camping out of paint, taking advantage of their bigs. Like it wasn't just JD, it was Stu too. Whoever was in there as a center, they were dumping the ball down to him, and they couldn't. Whoever it was couldn't stop either one of JD or Stu. Like they just couldn't stop him. So I like that they did that. Stu was finishing around the rim, much better as he's been all year. Great finisher around the rim, despite having crazy athleticism. He's a good finisher, protects the ball, doesn't allow his shot to get blocked. He's just really good and ethical around the rim. And then this too, though. He's the last 2 games, I've really been watching his passing. His passing out of the post has been really good. Whether it's big to big, like him to JD or him to Stu or him to Paul Reed, or whether he's finding guys on the perimeter, finding Duncan Robinson, finding Kevin Huerter, finding Cade. Like his vision in his passing is really improved, just like every other part of his game since he's been here. Like he's getting really good as far as just being a playmaker, which is something most of people never thought they say about Stu. The same way we didn't think he'd be a top level defender. The same way we didn't think he'd be a pretty good shooter. Now we're saying something else. That he's actually making really good plays and playmaking out of the post. Who would have thought we said about Isaiah Stewart? So once again, he just continues to incrementally raise every single piece of his game a little bit more year over year over year. He's getting as close to that ceiling of his potential as physically possible. And we're just seeing it manifest more and more in this area, and now this area, and now that area. So I just noticed for the first time really consistently the last couple of games, his passing out of the post has been really good, and he deserves credit for that too.
Yeah, and guys, tonight today they released a podcast. He was on what's it called? Oh Man in the Three.
Oh Man in the Three. Yeah.
Yeah. Cam Johnson's podcast with whoever the other guy is, I don't know, but Duncan Robinson and some of the clips, like one that Deuce posted, which is so funny because we were just talking about yesterday who has stronger hands, Kawhi or Stu, and then they literally up on the topic.
And then Duncan said his hand, like, because they asked him, they were like, "Do you ever?" What's his name? Tommy Alter is the host name. He said, "Do you ever worry about your wrist or your hand getting broke or getting hurt?" And before he could answer, Duncan was like, "This dude has the strongest hands in the NBA." He said, "Like this dude, his hands are like cement, like it doesn't move." He was like, "If I tried to do," he was like, "If I had the athleticism, first of all," he said, "But if I had it, if I tried to do that, I'd break my wrist. Like there's no way." So it's just funny they said that because we were just talking about who's got stronger hands between the Claw and Stu. That's hilarious.
I know. And I was like, they need to arm wrestle, but that's more of a bicep. They just need to like high five each other and see who goes down. I was like, what kind of like we need like a handshake off or something. Like, how do you do that? So that was just funny because we talked about his block yesterday right at the rim. Like your hand's gonna hit that rim one of these. It's gonna be crushed in between, and you would think broken fingers, but not. So I just had to talk about that too because he also talked about just his development and how. Just over the past 2 years, he thinks he's gotten really better at that because he watches film, is his timing, and he just talked about how he just wants to continue to get better for this team. So, with your what you notice about passing, again, this team is whether you agree with his lineups at times or whatever. JB is truly creating two-way players. If you're a great defender, we expect you to still be able to live up to our expectations on the offensive side. If you're not able to score, they're just developing, and every guy on this team is developing their game on both sides. Obviously, Stu can score and Stu can defend, but now he's assisting. So like it's almost like they're growing all their weak spots to become all around players.
That's a dangerous team.
Yes,
you have
and
a
so
bunch of guys who are more than bit players. 100%.
Right.
100%.
So I think there is a core to this team that will be safe from postseason moves. And I think, but that core is going to continue to be pretty dominant in both areas, and they can be relied on in other ways. And Stu, we haven't seen his footwork a lot this season, but like we saw that crossover on Mobley, like he's getting deeper into his bag and he's our oldest, like not oldest, but he's our most retained guy. I can't think of the word right now, but
tenured player.
Yeah, longest tenured player, but he's only 25.
Exactly.
Are you kidding? Like that's like what whenever I think about the Knicks too. Like by the time like Stu is Cat's age and Brunson's age, those guys are gonna be retiring.
Aged out.
Yeah. So Stu, they've got plenty of room to grow, and the cool thing is that all of these guys understand that Stu's not in the league for 5 years, being like, I've hit my peak and now I'm just doing what I do best. No, he's like, I'm doing what I do best and I'm going to try to do more.
Exactly. And you got to, and I want to give Coach real quick credit for that. As far as he's talking about all these guys becoming two-way players, he started with Cade Cunningham. When he first got here, he challenged Cade to be the two-way player. You know why? Because if Cade buys in, guess who else has to fall in line?
Yeah.
Everybody. So shout out to Coach for going to Cade and say, hey, I need you to do this. Can you do it? I know you can defend. I need you to defend while still shouldering the load offensively. Can you do it? K said, I got you. From there, it's like Greg Popovich going off on Tim Duncan. If Tim Duncan responds the right way, everybody looking up because everybody's watching. We'll see what's going to happen. If Tim is like, okay, guess what? I got to fall in line too. JB understood that.
Yeah.
That's why he went to his point guard, his franchise guys, MVP level player, and said, hey, I need you to lead this thing. This is what I'm trying to do. This is how we're going to win here. Can you buy in? He bought in, and so now everybody else is falling right in line.
Yeah.
So shout out to JB. Shout out to K for taking it on. And shout out to everybody else for knowing their role and playing their role.
This coach, this coach, I know we can go on forever, but this coach, this coaching staff this year, for what our guys have been through, it's just really exciting that they have JB and his staff because, people have talked about we're wasting Cade's years without getting him help and stuff, but we're on the up and up. Like we also completely benefited Cade's career by bringing in JB. There's little things, and if you change a lot at once, it's hard to change a lot at once. And if you can be done, but it could be overwhelming and it could lead to burnout, stuff like that. But they're slowly recognizing, what can be done. And the challenge to Cade is truly what has gotten him into the MVP conversation this year.
Facts. Exactly. The two-way play. Great point. I agree. Couple quick comments, guys, and we'll keep it pushing. Super Morty Man says Stu loves his dates and farming as a side. Yeah, man, y'all gotta check that interview out. It's a really good interview. You'll learn a lot about Isaiah Stewart and about how Duncan Robinson feels about Isaiah Stewart because he loves that guy. Stu loves him too, but you can see Duncan really he really messes with Stu heavy the way he was talking about him. So that was dope. So y'all check that out for sure. Heisenberg says Stu probably has a hydraulic shake. Facts, bro. And then Blackheart says, you gonna eat your cornbread? Stu Stewart eats his cornbread. For you, anybody who's seen the movie Life, Eddie Murphy, Martin Lawrence, Life. We'll leave that there, guys, for sure. Funny comments, y'all are hilarious. Yeah. Let's keep it pushing, boss. Let's go to our last guy, and Isaac Jones. Right? We got two.
Well, then,
who else?
We'll give B-Ball a shout out.
Okay. Let's do Isaac real quick and we'll do B-Ball Paul. Tonight, guys, Isaac Jones played 5 minutes. Good for him. He played 5 minutes. He got 2 points, made his only shots, 2 boards in 5 minutes. So, boss, real quick, what you see from Isaac Jones?
Anything 2 shots, 2 point, 2 boards, and then also just no turnovers, no fouls. You just love to see that in a guy who, when he went out there, I could see on his face, he was like you're a little bit okay, here I go. It's my first game as a Piston, So I was excited to see him. He takes up a lot of space and he can move fast for a big guy. I was just kind of looking at because I know that he came from the Kings and he was never really a rotation player there, but the fans love him. So he just has to be a good guy, And so I was looking at the way he moves is great. So his basket in the fourth, it was caught in a crowd. He had 3 guys around him and he caught it and then he went down with it, which is a big no-no in the league. But then he just powered up and went over those 3.
That was
and
nice.
got the basket. A layup. It's a little tap it. And so he didn't turn the ball over. He didn't get flustered in the moment. He understood. I trust his decision making and bringing that ball down. He knew he could do it, and he got in the shot he wanted to get his first bucket as a Piston. So when I saw that Isaac Jones, because on the injury report, him and Tolu and Bobby and Chaz were all questionable for 2-way assignment, and some of them got assigned, and then some of them got available. And Jones was available, and then Chaz was out for a coach's decision. I think it was just bench space, active players. So I was kind of that. To me, that showed me that they want to get Isaac Jones some minutes. I don't know if they're just gonna. We probably will see him more as we get into end the regular season in those type of scenarios where we can, and probably the last 2 games of the season as well, unless somehow those for seeding. So it was just cool for him to get minutes. I know the guys were excited because he was in our G League, but before he was assigned to G League, he was practicing with this team. They want to see him succeed too. They were excited for him when he got his basket. Cade and Tobias were clapping, smiling. So I get not much to say about him, but I do like the way he moves. He got in front. He let a guy, he closed out on a 3 and just went right past him. But then when they inbounded it on the next play, they wanted to get it to number 5. I don't know who number 5 was. but he did not let it happen. Like he was like, nope. And that wasn't the 5-second violation, but it was close to one. So I was like, in those final moments, like I really loved how he just did not let the guy that he was guarding, who they wanted to give the ball to, get the ball.
Yeah.
So
The playing for the Motor City Cruise has helped him for sure, prepared him for this for sure. What up, though, Tom? Detroit basketball. What's going on, Brody? Hey, by the way, man, I know you don't be chickening out on me, bro. When you get up here, we either got to go to the studio and record something. It'll just be you and me there, bro. I'm the engineer, so it'll just be you and me. No, won't be no audience. I got you. Or we gotta do karaoke, bro. One of the two. Gotta do that. The final countdown. One of the two. Take your pick. Let me know. But guys, let's go ahead and so for me, as far as Isaac Jones, I'm just glad he got a chance. I've seen him. I had a chance to talk to him a couple times at for the Cruise games at Wayne State for their games. Yeah, good dude, man. Real nice guy. Real, low key guy, soft spoken guy. But I'm just glad he got opportunity. I think playing for the Cruise has helped him kind of prepare for this moment a little bit, even though you can't really simulate it. But I think he was ready. Yeah. He got his moment. He showed a little bit what he can do, and that's great for him for sure. I was happy to see that for sure.
What is his position? Is he a power forward or is
forward
he a center?
Because he'll probably play more forward at the NBA level, because everybody can't be Isaiah Stewart as far as just being an anomaly at that size. But I think forward center more so for him for sure.
Because that's what I thought. I thought we brought him in. I think he was listed as a center, but then I thought he was bigger, and he's littler like Stu. So obviously we know that little centers, because of Stu and guys like that, like we can see smaller centers can still get it done. Yeah. But I was just wondering, the way he was moving tonight. Well, Paul Reed was out there as a center, but he looked comfortable in that power forward position as well.
Yeah, good for him, man. So hopefully he gets more chances with the season winding down. Maybe when we clinch, when that magic number 11 hits to 0, there's a few games left, and we can kind of do for him like we did for some guys last year, get some bump. So we'll see, man. But let's go to our last guy of the night, B-Ball Paul. Guys, Paul Reed played less minutes than Isaac Jones tonight. He played 4 minutes, and he didn't score. Missed his only shot. Had a board, turnover, steal, and block. A board, a turnover. How do you even record all that in 4 minutes? Board, steal, turnover, and a block in 4 minutes. So I don't have any notes. I'm just gonna let you go, and I'm not gonna have a response because it's B-Ball Paul doing everything in no time.
I know you got a little stung a little bit when I said that I picture Bobby with turnovers, but I also picture B-Ball. Usually when he comes in the end of the game,
feel better then. Okay, okay, that makes you feel better. Okay.
When he got his little one, because you always see him do his little,
yeah.
And then so I was so bummed he didn't get the basket, because, like I said, that would have meant that everyone scored, but he did get a rebound, which means that everyone got a rebound. The steal and the block was fun. He had the block. So Kevin Huerter's slam for the and one was off of B-Ball's block, and that's what got him.
Oh, okay. Right.
They create that. Obviously, he pulled down a board. He did B-Ball things, always comes in at 100% effort. So, like you said, there's not a lot of minutes, but we've also seen him get like 10 rebounds in 5 minutes. So, but he was out there doing B-Ball Paul things. So, it's exciting to see him.
You got that. You got that discount double check. You got the belt tonight. Okay.
Wait, because you got the belt last time? Because I was just thinking that because of JD.
Right? Didn't JD win it last time? Or was it? Wait. Was it Coach? No, Coach won the game before last.
No, that's why I was wondering, because when you said that JD was obviously the player of the game, I was thinking, but later on I was like, but I think he has the
belt last time. I'm drawing a blank.
Yeah, Tom, just let us know who gave it to him.
Yeah, let us know. I can't remember.
Because I was thinking, like, then if JD had the belt, then we could have made a different poll. But
right, exactly. Right.
But that's awesome.
Good for him. That's dope. Yeah.
So, I mean, it just shows
he's earned it. He's earned it.
He scored more yesterday, but he had a bigger impact on the boards and defense tonight. Oh,
Javante had it, and he gave it to him.
Wow. Okay.
That's what's up.
Wow, I love that. I got to be more updated.
Hey, I like it.
Aww,
that's fire.
I can't wait to see it.
Shout out to him, man.
I think everybody.
I love this team, bro. I love this team, man.
Everybody in the rotation has had it, I believe. So, that's
except
amazing.
for I think everybody's had it. Who's in the rotation, like you said, yeah.
I mean, I couldn't name when Levert did if he did, but that's the only one I'm like.
Let's end it on a positive note.
So
yeah, guys, we'll end it there. And now we will do our look ahead to next game, guys. So let's take a look at the schedule before we get out of here, and then we will call it a night. So, guys, after y'all tried to get on me for that graphic I made for when it was just 4 straight L's. Now we got 3 straight dubs. I wasn't trying to troll. I was just calling it like I see it.
You can't, yeah.
Now it looks like Christmas now, right? So now, guys, basically coming up next for the Pistons, as Boss mentioned, are the Toronto Raptors. They are currently the 7th seed in the East, and they have lost their last 2 games. So with them being right in the thick of the playoff race, like you mentioned, Boss. What's that?
They won tonight against the Suns.
Oh, they did win? Okay, so they won. So they snapped their streak. Okay, cool. So with them in the thick of the playoff race, so I will still imagine they come out swinging, trying to get a dub because they are jockeying for position right now. So the Pistons will have to be ready. And this could be, I'm not saying it's going to be, or even it's likely, but this could be a potential first round matchup for the Pistons, depending on how the play-in shakes out. I don't think it's going to play out that way, but it's possible. So we'll see how that goes. Boss, real quick, do you have any thoughts looking ahead to this game against the Raptors coming up?
Yeah, I think, like you said, something to really consider is the fact that they are in a hunt to just stay out of the play-in. This game matters more to them than it matters to us. And we can't let that show. We have to show them that we're ready for the fight. I'm excited for Scotty versus Cade. I'm just looking at some quick box scores from their game tonight against Phoenix, and Ingram had 36 points. Barrett had 22. And then Quickly had 17, Scotty had 14, and Walter had 12. So pretty spread out, but Brandon Ingram took over. He is a guy that we haven't, I think he was injured when we played the Raptors earlier. I just don't feel like we haven't seen him play much. I also they have Jamal Shed, who went to school with Sass. So if Sass is still in the starting lineup, I think Shed comes off the bench, but they're similar size, similar style play. I would love to see that matchup too. So I just think the Raptors can turn it on. They have really good shooters. They can play good defense. They've fallen a little bit. They've struggled. They were 5-5 in their last 10, but guys, so were we, so you can't judge them too much.
Right.
They were maintaining the 3rd place spot for a while, and now they're in 5th or 6th. Oh no, they dropped down a little bit, but yeah, they're trying to stay out of play-in. So we have to play this team. This is the toughest matchup of the next 7. I think that this is tougher than the Lakers. I know that they have Luka and stuff, but I think just in terms of style of play, this is a very good matchup, and it will come down to who just does better on both ends.
Yeah, for sure. So I just want to say this and we'll get out of here, guys. Talking about this game and the season and everything. It's a fun time to be a Pistons fan right now. It's a really fun time to be a Pistons fan. While most teams around the league are jockeying for the playoff position in both conferences now at this point, we have the luxury as Pistons fans with 16 games left to watch these guys just be able to rest these guys. They get a chance to just rest. And we get, as a result, we get a chance, Boss, to see some different lineups.
Yeah.
Some different lineups that we haven't seen all year as far as the starting group, the bench group, and just reflecting. Y'all know I'm always reflecting, trying to keep stuff in perspective. Just a year ago at this stage, heading into the playoffs or preparing for the playoffs, the biggest question for fans was whether or not the Pistons would avoid the play-in and make the playoffs or not. Are we going to be to make the play-in? We started off really slow last year to start the season, and we had to kind of do like the Hornets are doing right now, kind of fight our way back into the standings. We got hot, but we had to still, it was an uphill battle getting and surpassing some of those teams, 9th, 8th, and 7th. So, but this year, guys, with 16 games left, we are firmly in first place. The gap is continuing to widen. And we get a chance to rest our guys, still winning games while deploying these different lineups. So there's still a lot of work to be done, but it's just rare that we get a chance to be in a position where we're not really looking up at anybody in the conference or trying to figure out who we need to get help from in the standings or who we need to lose in order to move up. We're not in that situation right now. So of course you got to finish strong. You got to get it done when it matters, right? But just the strides this team has made in a short period, it cannot be overstated. So I hope the Pistons fans, I hope you guys are really enjoying where we are right now. We're sitting pretty at the top of the conference, and we got a lot ahead of us. So just soak it in. It should be a lot of fun heading to the playoffs, Boss. I'm going to put that out there.
Yeah, and we are, with our win tonight, we're at 5 games again over the Celtics. They do play the Wizards tomorrow, so I don't know how long that will last. But I could also see them resting some guys for that. Who knows? And just have a wild outcome. But they have a decently easy schedule as well. They're pretty equal to us. They say OKC again. Oh, wow. They still have to see the Knicks again. That'll be fun. So we are, again, pretty number 5. And so we just want to keep that going. And like you said, just putting in perspective of last year, and last year also around this time, how early did Stu get hurt? It was kind of when we started to hope, because we were kind of hoping he would be ready for playoffs, right? And he wasn't.
Well, no, he played in the first game against the Knicks last year. It was just he went out relatively early in that game and never came back. Like he was hobbling. Because he was effective in that game too. He was bored and he was finishing at the rim, and then you saw him hobbling around. And whenever you see Stu doing that, you know it's something serious, because he's the last person to be faking or flopping or anything like that. So if he's laboring, that's when I got afraid. So get these guys right, man, for the playoffs.
I just wanted to address this too, because Devon asked if they clinched, and Moshe responded. The Pistons are actually the first in the East to clinch up the play-in. So basically, yes, they clinched a playoff spot. It'll take a little bit to clinch out of the play-in, but we're the first and only team in the East right now. There's 4 teams in the West that have done it. And so I think with the Rockets win tonight, which they won on a buzzer beater against the Pelicans. Yeah. Against the Pelicans. So they're struggling a bit. I just saw the Nuggets blow them out, but I think they'll exit 5. So the East is, I mean, people say, the West is tough, and they do have tough teams, but the East is equal. Like the East is anyone. Like I said, the East is up for grabs, and we're seeing it in real time in the way that number 2 through 10 in the conference right now is having to figure out their positions. 2 through 10 in the last 16 games is fighting for a playoff spot. We're the only ones who have secured. So now we just got to keep waiting to secure, obviously, the number 1, but just secure out of the play-in is going to feel good. I think we'll be obviously the first team to do that as well. So,
so enjoy it.
Exciting
enjoy
stuff.
it.
Yeah, there's going to be nitpicks about even the wins,
of course.
Especially after, when you go through a little bit of a slump, and it's easy to just point out things that could be improved still. But we have to enjoy these games, because this is truly an incredible turnaround. Like, we have been in first forever. It doesn't get recognized by the media a lot. People, I think we're like 4th in like the betting circles. They have the Knicks, the Celtics, and I think one other team, I can't think of which team it is, above us, making the Eastern Conference Finals before ours. Like, that's how much they doubt it, which is crazy, because
Detroit versus everybody.
Exactly.
As we always say. Super Morty Man says, number 1 in the East since early November 2020. Yes, we went once we hit 7-2, game 9 of this season, we have not relinquished first place.
Wow.
Since November. We never looked back. Nobody jumped us for a game or two. No, we stayed right there and just kept going, which is incredible.
We went on a 4-game losing streak, and we're still 5 up on the second.
Exactly.
We went on a 4-game losing streak slump, and we bounced right
That's how
back.
consistent we've been all year. Because if we ain't consistent like that, we don't have a 5-game lead right now. We're probably battling with the Celtics right now. So, shout out to this team, man. Despite all the nitpicking we do at times, we want to see this team get better, all the criticism here and there, we got to appreciate this, man, for what it is.
Yes.
And then come off season, we can all be missing this, and then we can talk about it then. But right now, just smell the roses, bro. Smell the roses, bros and sis. So with that, guys, we'll leave it there, man. Great show. Again, we appreciate you guys all for showing out as you guys always do, hanging out with us till almost 1:00 in the morning on a Saturday morning now, Friday nights. So Friday night for you still over there. But we appreciate you guys, man, for always showing love. So make sure you guys smash that like button and subscribe if you are new. And we hope you guys have a great night. Once again, be careful if you are out driving. The wind gusts are crazy right now. So make sure you guys are safe driving. Stay warm, stay safe, get home safe, get to your families. Enjoy the weekend, man. And y'all know the drill, man. Detroit versus everybody. We'll see y'all Sunday. Peace.
All the dirty work, all dog. I'ma dive on the floor, go try to block every shot, and I'ma be physical with you the whole game. You know Stu gonna be physical with you. When you think of the Pistons, you think it's just hard work and just gritty basketball. That's just the identity you gotta have when you put on that jersey.
I'm not your average breed of King 9. Not a good dog, I'm bad boy for life. I set the tone, don't care about no tick. Let it be known, I get my respect. Come in the rain and see I don't bluff. If you retaliate, that's on ya. Talking pundits, I hear you're ashamed. Talking that chop, you must want this way. I'm trying to tell ya. Hook a dog pound, mess around, find out, yeah. Hook a dog pound, mess around, find out, for some barbecue sauce, boy, you better cough a hill, cause I'm like that. When you're ready for some barbecue sauce, boy, you better cough a hill, cause I'm like that.